people can't say anything about black people, then who can say something about black people? Who? Said the owl. Somebody tell me who can say something about black people if black people can't say anything about black people? If white people say something about black people, then they're racist. If Asian people say something about black people, then they're racist. If black people say something about black people, then they're a self-hater and a coon. So who can say something about black people? Somebody tell me. I'm waiting on an answer. Please, who can speak about black people? I'm in Issa Hill. If you'd like to join me, you got to come over to my Twitter. That's the only way I can let people on to come talk. I can't let you on over there. Anybody that's on Instagram, come over to my Twitter under the same name, join the Twitter space. I will let you come up here. All you got to do is click the link or click whatever it is to get up here, however it works. I'll bring you up here. No problem. You don't have to show your face over here on this Twitter space. You can come and say whatever. So you'd assume that the people who have such a problem with me that they tweet me all day will be the first ones to come up here and say something. But I still have not gotten a good answer. Matter of fact, I've not gotten any answer of who can actually say something about black people. If white people can't, black people can't, Asian people can't, who can? Put down her own race. So when white people say something bad about Karens, aren't they putting down their own race? When white people say something bad about the white people who do stuff to blacks, aren't they saying something bad about their own race? When white people talk bad about the whites who are racist, aren't they saying something bad about their own race? How come y'all have no problem with white self-haters? I love this tweet right here. I'm gonna put that one on Instagram. The pro-black woman last tweet was, I might as well FWM a white boy. I'm sick of these NIGGAs. Then after that says, black men just put more white people in the world every day. White people don't understand that though. Boys who don't like dark-skinned women are like white girls, have not grown up and never will. What? That's a thing you tweeted, ma'am? Boys who don't like dark-skinned women or like white girls have not grown up and never will. Boys who don't like dark-skinned women or who like white women have not grown up and never will. You can say that, and that's a thing. That's a thing. The argument today that they're having was a simple argument. They were arguing about another black girl at the same school, ladies and gentlemen, same school. She did something and it made people upset. It made them upset because she did not get an opportunity to get her diploma. And do you understand what she did? Maybe you don't. This girl named Mel wrote, as you see on the top, it says, this school strict as hell, that white lady just humiliating. That white lady just evil, just humiliating black girls. I then replied, and I want someone to argue this. I said, how is she humiliating white girls? I mean, black girls. How is she humiliating black girls? How? If they have a rule before you go to the school, and here's what y'all don't understand. This school had a rule before black girls ever came to the school. Can I get an amen? They had a rule. The rule was simple. And many of y'all have gone to schools where they have a rule like this. And let me tell you what the rule is. During graduation, because people have made the event more about themselves than the group. Can I get an amen? If it's supposed to be everybody that's there is graduating, not one person. It's everybody that's there. So they went from, it's supposed to be about this wonderful group, and at the end, you get to throw up your little tassels and your hats, and everybody's happy. But when you're walking across stage, hello, you come stand here for a second if you like. During this entire thing, how are you, lady? You look nice. Just a B on your shirt. What's it mean? It don't mean nothing. All right. I got one that'll be graduating soon, and I have a fear that this will happen. Let's hope it won't. I won't be one of the ones doing it, but let's hope that don't happen. So you see this woman walk across stage as y'all are looking at the screen there? She's walking across the stage with pink hair. Now I get it. You like what you like. If that wasn't loud enough, if that didn't gather enough and garner enough attention. Now, did she do anything that's outlandish? No, she didn't. What she did was, as I can make it a little bit bigger. Matter of fact, since I have a teenager here, I'll let the teenager, come over here, teenager. Take a look at this. Just look at that screen or that one, whichever one. Take a look at it, and you tell me what you think of what you see. Then I'm gonna tell you more. Do you understand what just happened?
She didn't get it.
Do you know why she didn't get it? Okay, did you see this one? Okay, what do you think about this?
I thought maybe she should have waited till after she got her diploma, because, you know, a lot of schools don't like when you do things before you get it, so she could have waited until after she got it.
You go to a private school, right? They got some rules that you probably don't like, right? You got a lot of crazy rules, and you kind of like your daddy, you talk a lot. Get in trouble for talking. I get in trouble for talking. I get in trouble for talking right now. But it's a rule, right? And you understand it. You're like, the rule sucks. But you also know that you're going to get in trouble. So sometimes when I used to talk in class, I was like, yeah, I know it's going to come. And I'm all right. I got time today. I got time. I ain't got to do it at the school. I don't mind sitting in school tomorrow. I'm good. So I said what I said, and I was all right with it. But these people are saying what they say, but they're not all right with it. They're not all right with the result. There was no reason. This girl got on her hijab, the thing over her head. So that means she's respecting her religion, right? Because if she took it off, who would she be disrespecting? Her religion would be disrespected. So why is it that she can follow a rule, which seems rather silly, doesn't it, that you have to cover your head? You're a Christian, you all got to go around covering your head? Yeah, but they do. It seems silly, and the best way to not have to walk around with your head covered is not do what? How about not join that religion, so therefore you don't have to follow that rule? You ever thought about that? Don't you realize if you got friends that, well, in order to hang out with us, you got to smoke crack. Would you go hang out with them friends? Why not? You don't want to hang out with the cracky crew. So you don't want to hang out with them. So what was happening is, what I'm just discussing with them is a simple thing. I'm saying to them, hold on a minute. If there's a problem, and I really think this should be something that everybody discusses and discuss it honestly. If there's a real problem that you have, then don't join that group. Before you go to these schools, and that's a private school, before you go to that school, they told you, before you even graduated, you saw it happen the year before and the year before and the year before. You saw that if somebody did any small little thing, they wouldn't let you get your diploma. And a lot of people don't get it, but I do, because here's the thing. Shouldn't your parents already have a party for y'all set up after the graduation where you can act the fool and gritty all day? If the program is supposed to be about you and everybody else, when you start making a dance and stuff, you just made the program about yourself. Both of these people, the people were arguing with me, they were saying, well, they're anti-black girl. Do you think these schools are anti-black girl? Because why is it that no other girl in any other race had a problem with following the rule? It's not Asian girls that didn't get their diploma because the Asian families didn't get up and yell. It's not even black boys. Every one of the people who were denied their diploma was just black girls. And their argument is the rule is stupid. But if you think a rule is stupid, when should you argue the rule?
That's when you heard the rule first time.
Yep. Argue it before the graduation. If it ain't like they don't know when graduation is the day they started. Everybody knows what day that is. So during the beginning of the year, couldn't you put out a petition? Hey, we don't think it's right. We think we should be able to go do whatever we want to do. But they won't. So I ask you, do you think the school is being racist?
But I only do to those two because they strictly didn't follow their rules, Because I'm sure if an Asian girl did it, they probably would have not given her her diploma either.
Oh. Well, that's a very mature thing you're saying there, young lady. I'm impressed. Go sit down or go walk around, have some fun. I'll be ready in a minute. The pool is not warm, but it's because the thing isn't working. But it's probably warm because it's hot. But the thing isn't working. But have at it. I'll be right there in just a second. All right. So we just had a discussion, and for those who don't know, my child isn't high yellow. My child ain't half breed. My child is my color. Ish. She's a little lighter than me because her mother's lighter than me. But the school can't be racist if other black girls graduated and got their diploma. Am I lying about that? And again, I'm still waiting on someone to come up here and join the show and tell me something that they don't like or where I messed up. How can the school be racist if some black girls got their diploma? As a matter of fact, how can the school be racist if the majority of black girls got their diploma? How can that school be racist? And again, anybody that wants to come up here and talk to me, please. I'm open to the discussion. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I think you want to join this or what? Or you just got up here and waiting on your turn?
Hello.
Hey.
Anyway. All right. So it's not that the school is racist. The issue that I have with it is that the lady, she could have just very well gave the diploma, because by her not giving that diploma in the moment, just like you were saying earlier, that it made it about the student. Well, her not giving that diploma, which is a blank piece of paper anyway, also made it about that student, because now that's all that is being looked at, when she could have just handed the diploma and just kept it going along.
No, because
the rule against the time.
Wait. If she had handed her that diploma and just kept it moving, and you're the next person in line and you saw that, what would you do?
Well, that goes back to that person. Now, the rules are meant to be followed, and if they want to, not give it following that, then that's okay. That is warranted, and I can see where you're coming from. But again, I just want to counter and say, did it not make it more of a show by her not giving the diploma, especially for the second one? The gritty, that was a little too far. But like the hair,
no, it didn't make it a show. Let me explain. Because she literally just didn't give it to her. That girl knew what after her parent made the noise. As a matter of fact, somebody had to tell the loudmouth parent, you can hear it, to tell the parent to stop. So somebody that was with the parent knew what they were doing was a problem. And they laughed about it as they said it. As the person told them to stop, the parent then laughed.
Right.
So you cost your daughter that moment because you wanted to make it about your daughter, even though you knew. Now, when your daughter walks over there, that person has right there, they have a decision to make. We made a rule. Everyone knows the rule. Do we follow that rule? Because if we follow that rule, it actually sets an example. When you say you make it about somebody, well, I remember when I was growing up, and if you did something wrong, your parent could come up there and whoop you in front of the school. You also could get popped by the teacher. The one thing you didn't want to get to happen was you to be embarrassed. Now, it became about you because you didn't follow the rule and you got popped in front of everyone. But the next person who saw that, guess what they said? It's like saying we shouldn't have jail, we shouldn't have trials, we shouldn't have anything to punish people who will not follow a rule. And you're saying they made it about her after she made it about her. You hear what you're saying? She made it about her after the girl made it about her.
I do see where you're coming from. And I guess it would go back to what you were saying earlier. It just has to be revisited, as in, they just gotta look at the rule and do away, because not all rules are good rules, just like not all laws are good laws. So I would definitely go revisit. Now the gritty, I'm not for dancing on stage and graduation, because that does slow down the moment. I want to get my diploma and go home anyway. So don't do anything.
That's what I said. I was telling think about that. I was telling somebody, my daughter was here. She was just here. The people who were watching, they saw her. I let her see it. And my daughter's gotten in trouble for she's a talker like her father. But she never argues about that because she says, I knew the rule, I broke it.
Right. And I'm the same way. If I'm speeding, I get pulled over, just go ahead and give me my ticket. I ain't arguing with you.
Right.
I know the rule. But again, it just more so, we just have to go, if it's truly an issue as it's being raised on social media right now, then they just have to revisit that rule and change.
Right.
But for the most part.
And it's been a rule for a while at school. Why have they not revisited it before? They knew that graduation was coming up and they knew they wanted to make noise. It's two things they could have done, and you tell me if I'm wrong or not. One, they could have changed schools that will allow it. That's why the name of my title of this space is that. Why don't blacks start their own spaces where they're allowed to be loud and be crass and dance and sing and whoop? Like, they literally could do this. Why don't they do it? Why do they go to places that have rules against it and then argue that rule?
Well, that's going down a deeper rabbit hole. That's more so getting into, I guess, systematic oppression and not having the capital and the ability to actually create your own spaces in schools to do that.
But they do.
Or our resources are being put towards.
Not an all black school, but an all black woman school.
Right. But
and Morehouse is not only an all black school, but it's an all black male school. We have the resources to do it. Remember, again, this is a private school. So they have the resources to start their own private school.
I can't argue with you there. That is very much so true. Just that girl's true. But
because see, here's what happened with me. I didn't want my daughter going to this public school. Didn't think the public school was a good place for her to be. I ended up paying college tuition for my child to go to regular school that my taxes already paid for.
Right.
Why did I do that though?
You want your daughter to have a better experience, more quality education, and also something that is more so a school that aligns to your ideals and family values.
There you go. Think about that. And yet we claim we love our children, but we don't love them enough to put them in the situation where if we think that it's cool that they do the gritty across the stage, we should go to a school that literally does that. Because if that happened at a school, it's like everywhere else. Now the next person got to outdance her, right?
That is very much possible. That's true. It can happen.
We see it happen at church. One person get up and start dancing. The next person get up and start dancing. One person give their testimony. The next person give a longer testimony. We know it with the weave. One person got 17 inches, the next got 19, the next got 21, the next got 23. It literally has a black woman now walking around with weave on the ground.
That's true.
with big butt, with plastic butts. Did it stop at one size, or has it gotten to the point now where these people are walking around with these fake butt implants and they look like somebody off the cast of Ants?
Yeah. It does. I mean, that's just human nature too.
Yeah.
That's human
So
nature.
then why not nip it in the bud and say, well, we just don't want this here because it's not going to stop. Once you ring that bell, you can't unring it.
Yeah. Also, once it's wrong, like I said, once it's done, it can't be undone. But my biggest argument would be, I want to go with what you said earlier. We got to start our own schools, where if you want that kind of environment,
There you go.
You know, we can let that be allowed. And also, it just more so, it puts more power in our communities. So like I work in education,
and it will put more finances in your community.
So I'm a big advocate. I want our own schools. Make our own schools.
I'm 100% with you. I said last night, black people don't want to own stuff. We want to own the people that own stuff. We don't want to do the work to own it. We want you to go get your business. We want you to have whatever it is you have. Then we want to come in and bitch and moan about it and make you acquiesce to us. And tell me I'm lying. Because all these things you hear black people complaining about are literally white spaces, if you want to call them that, and then you intrude on them and tell them that they should want you there. It'd be a white movie, you'll tell them they should want a black person leading that cast. But ain't no white people ever said that you should have white people in Tyler Perry movie. Name the white people who come out and said, there needs to be more white representation in Tyler Perry movies.
And again, that's again the bigger rabbit hole that we're getting into. But what you're saying just more so aligns with what Malcolm X was saying. And a lot of black individuals back in not back in the day, but back during civil rights time, that they were opposed to any segregation because
right.
It would cause different things. Like I was watching one interview a while ago about how we used to have all these different black bus lines and things, but once bus lines were desegregated, everyone stopped using the black bus lines, which caused the black businesses to fail because they felt like black businesses inferior.
White ice was colder.
Right. And I think you've seen what I'm talking about too. Like you walk across the street and get some ice when it's a black grocery store right there with the same ice, but you're like, well, this ice is better over here. It's the same ice.
Think about it. We had millionaire owners in the Negro Leagues. These were owners who had become millionaires because of the franchise teams they had. They literally shut the league down because white people said, you can come over here and play with us.
Yes, that's exactly what it is now. But again, that's why we just gotta start with our youth and preach to our youth. Like we gotta make our own spaces. We gotta create our own. Like I said, take a Tyler Perry, create our own studios, make our own movies, make our own superheroes. Because it's good to feel integrated, but also we got to stop going to the point of feeling so integrated that we take away from our culture and ourselves. Because the running thing is black people have no culture, and my counter is American culture is black culture because we help make America just like any other group in this.
We just as American as anybody else.
Right, but the thing is, don't put being American above being black or African either.
Well, here's the thing. We make fun of being African. You know how many times I've been called African as a diss by blacks?
And that's just being uneducated. And again, that's also part of just that system of just hating yourself. You don't see the value in being black or African and the power in being African. And that's when we have the situation that we tend to be in now with the state of our communities.
Well, I tell you what, man, you made a great argument. I love it when we, as black men especially, can have a discussion. We may not see eye to eye on the discussion, but the discussion is being had. And when people see it, they say, well, those brothers wasn't up there calling each other niggas and threatening each other lives every 5 seconds. They actually had a discussion like men. And I think that's why a lot of white people like watching Negroes descend into madness.
Yeah.
We make it too easy.
We got to unite. We got to come together.
Yep.
We got to, again, learn how to talk and get away from violence and more so articulate ourselves a lot better and plan and also act.
Amen.
But I thank you for letting me join. But I definitely want to be listening in. You give some very insightful point of views.
Well, thank you. And I'd welcome anybody else to come up here and join. You can just mute yourself and stay up here and talk when you want to. Hey, guys, it's happy to all of the fathers out there, but especially the Black fathers. Happy Father's Day. I came to join you guys because, hey, I'm waiting on them to finish cooking. Then I'm going to go eat. There's a person that wanted to talk right now. Go ahead, bro. You on the air.
Tom, I just got one thing to say.
What's that?
Niggas would rather be in a white man's jail in America than go back to Africa. You talking about Africans? You talking about how Africans don't like black people and black people use that as an insult also? They would rather be in a white man's jail than go back to Africa. And that's 100%.
Think about it. Well, think about it. We claim that white people are the worst people in the world. They're evil and they never like black people. Yet we will not leave and go somewhere else. Or, because I asked two things if you feel that way. If you think these people are evil, you think they're the devil, then either you leave them or you fight them for supremacy. Because everybody else does that. Everybody else does that everywhere else on the planet. Either you leave or you fight. And we won't do either one because we don't like our set. Just like this, the one woman who went to this store called Zara, I think it's called. She was claiming that they don't make clothes to fit fat chicks. But instead of going to a store that makes clothes to fit fat chicks, she put on a skirt and made it a top. So she kept complaining, but kept shopping there. And it's a microcosm of what blacks do. We complain about whites while refusing to leave whites alone. We force ourselves on white people. When they don't force themselves on us, we try to move in their neighborhoods and complain about their rules when we move there. They don't move into our neighborhoods, then complain about our rules when they move there. Name a time that white people moved into a black neighborhood, then complained that they were being mistreated by the blacks. Name a time.
It doesn't happen. I think black folks subconsciously know that white people's stuff is better.
Yep.
And so they, like you hit it the nail on the head when you described it, they with the white man's built and then try to claim it for themselves.
Yep.
They don't want to put the work in to actually build it.
Yes, they don't want to own it. They want to own the person who owns it. I came up with that. I came up with a lot of sayings. They're really good. But yes, they don't want to own it. They just want to own the person who owns it. Because we are basically like a woman running around looking for a rich man to marry. She's spending all her money not on getting rich herself, but trying to find a rich man so then she can be rich because he's rich. That's what blacks do. We wait on whites to build a city, then we move into white city.
Right.
We wait on whites to build a school, then we go to the white school. We wait on whites to have a job, then we go and apply. And then once they let us work there, what do we start doing? Making a mess, making a fuss, making it difficult. There is no reason for this to be an argument for anyone online right now. And it's a big argument. And I asked this one black girl who argued with me all morning. I kept asking her a simple question. Again, y'all can go follow me on Twitter and see it. The black girl was making a fool of herself, arguing with me. And I kept at her name of Tashay, whatever it is. So it's something black. She said, I'm attacking black women. I'm convinced you're a white man hiding behind a black man's account. That's what she wrote to me. Yep. I told her I was black. Then she said, you're black like Candace Owens then. You hate your own. Then I said, you told me not to generalize. You just generalize white people. She said, white conservative men are racist. I'm not stupid. So I said, all white conservative men are racist? I said, yep, Martin Luther King was a conservative man. He's black. And they don't care. And I kept asking her one simple question and she could not answer it. I said, ma'am, why is it that no other group of people at this school had a problem with the rule except one. I said nobody else got their diploma taken from them or that they didn't receive their diploma except one group. I said, why is it that everybody else could comply? Do you know what her response to me was?
What?
I find it interesting that you use the word comply. Ha, ha, ha. That was her response.
No matter what, they're never wrong.
Answer the question, though.
Yeah, they're literally never wrong, no matter what.
And I didn't understand. I said, ma'am, I'm just asking you seriously. Please tell me, why is it that there was only one group? It wasn't Asian women who had a problem following this order, white women, Middle Eastern. There was only one group that feels the need. And here's what sucks. What's wrong with black people to wear? And again, it wasn't black men in the audience that was yelling. Why is it that even black men, when you get us away from black women, you know what we seem to be able to do? Follow orders. Thrive. Don't believe me? Go look at the school in Chicago that is still constantly putting out black men into the world, all going straight to colleges. And I want y'all to understand this. You remove black women from those black men in that school in Chicago. You remove them and let nothing but black men go to this school. The entire senior class graduates every year. Do you hear me? Every year. I just did a story, though, of the blacks who was in the school together, and literally out of the 33 blacks who were supposed to graduate, only 5 of them did. And the 28 that didn't were complaining that the school should have told them before that they weren't compliant with the credits they needed. You mean to tell me you didn't go to your senior year knowing if you were compliant? You didn't know how many credits you had. It's the school's fault. We're saying it is the school's fault. Think about that. The schools should have been there telling me. I did another story about a black woman with 3 kids. She blamed the school for her son having a total of, after 4 years of school, guess how many credits he had?
How many?
4. He got a credit a year. He got a credit a year. And you know what she said? This is not a joke, bro. I'm gonna put the story up on my Rumble. Y'all will see it. I had done it before, but I'm gonna put it up there so you can see it again, just so people know. After this, she said, it's their fault for not telling me. Let me keep on going. Because I'm a single mother of 3 kids. They should have told me. What, ma'am? You have no problem going into the world so you don't look at your kids, this thing called a report card? You don't look at that. You ain't never looked at that because you a single mom, because you decided to be a single mom. Nobody made you. You just said, let me do it.
Yeah. I know somebody who runs a school in New York, and they said the parents will not come to parent-teacher conference or nothing. Like, they won't have no involvement with the kids at all.
Mm-hmm. Black parents are the hardest people to get to come to the PTA meeting. And I've heard a lot of people say that usually when you get the black parent to come to school is when you have finally had to do something to their child. When they got suspended. Then they show up saying, why you suspend my child? And they said like the kid had so many absences. Like there was a black woman, and I'm telling y'all, it's always black women. There was a black woman who just successfully sued a company. I don't know if y'all saw that. She won $11 million because she said they fired her because she's black. She had over 47 absences in 1 year. 47 7. They warned her. She still kept not coming. But because the people are afraid to not do what black women want them to do, that's why you should never ask for a trial. I don't know how you do it. The judge is going to be afraid of being called racist. Black women are the biggest racists that there are on the planet. There's nobody more racist than them, if they want to call that racist when you don't like someone because of a reason. My whole life, I got told that I was too black by black women. The same black women will tell white men, if they're not interested in them, that, well, they're racist. The same black women will call a black man a self-hater because he dates outside of his race. The same black women will then find mixed men very attractive. Because if you hate people dating outside of their race, why would you date the byproduct of dating outside your race?
Yeah.
Nobody goes around causing more drama and more stuff than them. And the children that they create are the biggest ones. Like, this dude was trying to fight me over what I said about black women. And he said, "You don't like black women. That means you don't like your mama. If I ever see you, I'm gonna beat your ass." I said, "Hold on, bro. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying." I said, "You like women, right?" "Yeah, I ain't no punk, nigga. Don't talk to me like that." I said, No, I'm just making sure." I said, "And you like black women, right?" "Yeah, unlike yourself, nigga." I said, "Okay." I said, "So if you like black women, I'm of the ilk of this. If somebody else doesn't like what I like, that means I have more of it. I don't get mad that people don't like steak. I get more steak. I don't get mad because somebody in my house doesn't eat pralines and cream, because I get to eat it more. I have never went to a man and said, "You don't like my girl? You ain't trying to sleep with my girl? What's wrong with you? You need to want to sleep with my girl." It makes no sense. Yet these men are arguing with men for not liking what they like. Now, here's what's funny, bro. If I'm a self-hater for not liking black women, well, wouldn't the ultimate love for a black man be to just be with another black man? That means you love yourself, right? It's the silliest argument that these people make. And the reason why the argument's silly is because it's being made by women. And people don't like when I talk about it. But women are the most irrational group of people on earth. And black women take the cake.
Yeah. I actually been telling people that it's really not even that black men are so bad. I mean, even though the statistics are terrible, it's because they're raised by single black women.
That's right. That's it. The black men and black women. I sit up here and listen. I'm telling you, early today when I got up, I went and checked, and I follow a lot of hoes, right? You can look at my following. You can tell I follow a lot of hoes. Them hoes had a space, and they OnlyFans hoes. And they were talking about Happy Father's Day to themselves. They spent time in that space. These whores spent time talking about how they babies' daddies don't take care of their kids. So you're telling me that you are a single mom who has no help from the father on Father's Day, wanting us to give you credit for being a father. And guess what you were doing online? First thing you did when you got up, "Miss, I'm at home by myself and my children." Talking to people in a Twitter space instead of taking care of your damn children on the Father's Day that you're trying to claim. And a few of them you could hear because their mic was open. Guess what I heard in the back? Their children. So you're talking about sex and in the most disgusting ways, and your children are in earshot of it. We can hear them in the background. It was crazy. Go ahead, bro.
My only step in, I want to step in with your comment earlier about black women being the most racist. I cannot agree with that, and I also want to counter as well.
Well, go ahead, tell me why you disagree.
Well, it's always going to be the white man and the white woman that is most racist. One, because again,
well, no, don't just say it. Don't just say them. You got to tell me why, because I told you why. When I said black women, I ran down why they are. Now you tell me why it is always going to be the white man and the white woman.
Because more so to be racist is to be in a position of true power and to be able to oppress another group of people. Currently, black women and black men are in no position to oppress another race of people, just be systematically or just flat out, barbarically.
Yeah, but black women can oppress black men, and they have. The jails are full of them. If black women didn't run to the white man and say, arrest that black man, 40% of men who are in jail right now wouldn't be in jail. That's a real stat. That's a huge number.
I just can't agree with that. Because also, as a young man who was raised by a single black, not even mother, because I wasn't raised by my mother, I was raised by my aunt. But my aunt gave me all of my values and things. And again, those choices, no matter how you raise a child, goes back to the choices of that person. Yes, we could put our children in better positions and also, again, have the father in the home. But again, that I wouldn't say that is something of black women's making. It's
whose fault is that? Right now, you have all these children that are born in single-parent households. Whose fault is it when nobody's forcing the black woman to lay there, have the child by a man that she believes ain't ish, to lay there like most of these girls who do OnlyFans? They're literally having raw sex without being on any type of birth control and not making the guy wear a condom. They're literally having trick babies.
Right. And what I'm saying is more so, that's a small percentage of black women that are
no, it isn't.
Horrible decisions like that are OnlyFans.
75% of black children are being born out of wedlock. How is that a small percentage?
I'm speaking to the OnlyFans and the porn stars and the prostitution.
No, not even talking about that. Okay, when we talk about that, I brought out the statistic. 40% of black women who do porn have children. 10% of white women who do it.
Right.
Why is the number so skewed like that?
And again, that goes back, I want to say again, to systematic oppression. It's just, again, systems that were put in place to keep the black man out of home with his welfare, to get welfare checks. You can't have a black man in the home. So you break up the black family and you take away that power structure.
You can't break up a family that doesn't exist. What is a family? Tell me what's a family. You describe what a family is.
A family is, on the biological terms, man, woman, children. Or, yes, man, woman, children. That's a family.
All right. So then why is it then
when the government has put in place for things? I'm not saying it's the government's fault, but I'm saying there's a system that has and it has been proven to be established to intentionally break up the black home, to keep the black man away from the black woman, so that way they cannot raise the black child. And so in turn, therefore we have broken black children who grow up to be still broken adults who again rear broken black children. So the cycle just continues. That's that generational curse.
So if you believe that, then why is it that when the man brings up, hey, having these children in this situation ain't good, that guy will be called a coon? We're supposed to uplift the same thing that you just said is a problem. Why would we uplift it if we just acknowledge right there that it's a problem?
And again, it goes to that we got to change our mindsets. We have to be, for women especially, and I'm not trying to say women.
But it's very difficult to do that if you're being called a coon because you call out the problem.
It's more so.
Because if you say what you're saying, look, in Hollywood, we know that if you do gay stuff, you get more money, right?
Yes.
That's a system, right?
Yes.
So why is it we condemn people who still go do it?
Because it doesn't align to what we view as morally correct.
Right. So black women are just like men who are in the industry of Hollywood. You don't have to want to be a damn celebrity so bad that you'll take a penis. You don't have to. You can say no. And we condemn those who don't. So black women can say no. You can't say that. You claim to be the most educated group in America. So oppression must have skipped you. You make fun of your black man and try to tell him you make more money and you're more successful than him. So oppression must have skipped you. So why do you continue to put yourself and your children in the same hole that the white system put in front of you when apparently you no longer need it because you're so educated and you all are entrepreneurs.
Yes, give me some time to think on that, and I'm coming. Give me some time to think of that, and I'm coming to you. But again, I do not. Cause I just don't want to generalize it as black women, because that's a woman thing. You know, it's most of the red pill, blue pill debate. It's
it's not a woman thing though. Because what are we watching with women? Again, the number is amazingly skewed towards black women having children by themselves. So it can't be a woman thing. Asian women aren't having this problem. Why not? Asian women aren't having children till they get a man and have a husband.
Let me put it, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take it back to when the redlining was prevalent. When I say systems. If you look at now the ratio between the black household income versus the Caucasian family's income is greatly skewed. The income from the average Caucasian family is like, I want to say 3 times that of the black family. That is because we were displaced from our property. And also they did the redlining system where if you live next to blacks, your property value goes down, and the neighborhoods, become those what is known as the ghetto.
But your property value wouldn't go down if blacks kept buying it themselves.
But that blacks aren't in the position to do those things, especially during those times.
They are though. There are plenty. But right now, where I live at, a bunch of blacks in here, huge houses. I'm black. I'm not with my daughter's mother. My daughter goes to a private school.
But would you say is that the mom's fault, or would that be just something that you guys have mutually decided not to do as a family?
No. You mean beating? No. I'm saying we parent the child together as much as possible. I mean, do I feel like I should have more input? Yes, I do. But society builds it to where you have to you're kind of at the mercy of the woman, right? So that's why we must teach our sons to what? Be careful with your seed.
Yes.
Because once you give it away, you can't get it back.
Same thing. And we also got to teach our daughters, be careful who you lay with other men, because you got to make sure that they are valuable men that are going to provide for you, and they can do the things to take care of you.
And white supremacy can't change that. Just like if white supremacy could change so much, why are black women going around getting tattoos on their chest, being loud in public, and doing the gritty across the stage? If white supremacy was that successful, black women wouldn't be twerking in public. They'd be emulating whites. If you're saying white supremacy is that successful, by now blacks would be emulating whites in order to succeed.
I'm gonna take it from the perspective of reverse psychology. I don't want you to be equal, so I'm gonna make sure that there's a system in place, or not even, I'm gonna get away from the system thing, but more so with the part of what you were just saying now about why black women don't, conform and do what they're supposed to. I guess if from your terms, I'm not saying black women should conform or do what they are quote unquote supposed to do. What I'm saying is that Caucasians want to have that feel of I'm better than you. So when they see, making that stereotype, black people are loud, black people don't know how to behave themselves in public. That's not true, because not all black people are like that, and we have to.
Yeah, but a stereotype doesn't mean all. Just like not all black women are educated. Are all black women beautiful?
And it's an eye of the beholder. I'm not going to jump on here and say all.
Okay, do all black men have big penises?
That's an eye of the beholder too. It's who you.
Oh, come on now.
That's it.
Okay, so can all black men dance?
No.
Can all black women dance? Are all black women educated?
No, everyone's not educated.
Okay, so why is it when we make those generalizations, black women don't say not all? Shouldn't they be the first ones to jump up? And when somebody say black women got the best bodies on earth, somebody should jump up and say what? Not all.
Well, I don't think no one would do that. That don't sound good. If everyone's saying the black women are the best, or black men are the strongest men in the world, and I jump and say, well, not all black men.
Yeah, okay, so listen to what you just said. That's selective outrage. That's selective. You can generalize me if I like the generalization. You can stereotype me if I like the stereotype.
If it's positive, yes. And
you don't think that's a child's way of handling things? Imagine if you were a coach and the only way you could coach your team was if you said things they like. They accepted everything you said that they liked. So they're the last place team, but you told them, you know what? You guys are the best team in the league. Yeah, coach.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying,
but that is what we're saying when we walk around calling black women queens when they're in last place on almost every category on earth. That is what we're saying. We're literally saying you don't have to do anything to receive this title of queen. A woman told me today, I said, I just want y'all to act like the queens you say you are. She said, and I want you to act like the king you say you are. I said, ma'am, I've never called myself a king. I wouldn't. I'm just a regular dude. You know what her response was? Normal response should have been, oh, my bad. I thought you were one of those people who call yourself king. Nope. She continued on. Yeah, because you so-called kangs, and she wrote K-A-N-G. She said, yeah, because you so-called kangs don't have a kingdom calling yourselves king. I said, ma'am, I live in a mansion. I own my own business. And I still wouldn't call myself a king. I said, and one of the things that I would wish that you queens would have, since you keep calling yourselves queens, would be that you be with a king. And a queen has decorum. There are things you have to do and standards you have to hold yourself to as a queen. As a matter of fact, they teach you while being a princess on how to become a queen.
right. And
Yet these black women are not doing it. How is it that a woman can walk around with tattoos on her face, red weave, tattoos on her chest, kids by several men, and going out in public twerking and have an OnlyFans page, still tell you, I'm a queen? How's that possible?
But I mean, that's, it could be disillusion. Because I'm not one that's going to say everybody's a king and everybody's a queen, because everyone's not a king and a queen. You got to have your peasants. Someone got to do the undersource job.
That's
But
right.
what I'm saying is, it's the mindset more so that they're speaking to. You got to carry yourself, and you got to, again, that's something that has to be cultivated. If it's not cultivated from your parents, that to them, that's what being a queen is. Maybe being a queen is, and they don't have the understanding until it's brought to them.
But they couldn't tell you what being a queen was. Ask any one of the ones who call themselves a queen. Ask them what that means. Go on. Because remember, you just said it's what they think and how they act. So cool. I'd agree. Now ask them to define it for you. Let them that. If I call myself, I gotta be careful. Got family here and I'm trying not to cuss. Even though they're in another place in the house, they shouldn't hear me. If I call myself BDD, Big D Daddy,
Right.
and somebody say, what that mean? I would be able to explain why I call myself that. There's no name that I've ever called myself that I couldn't explain to you why I call myself that. That there's a thing I achieved, and hence that's what it made. Which then again would make anybody else who've achieved or reached that goal should be able to call themselves that same thing. You know, like medical doctorate. Usually when you call yourself these things, you know there's a goal you reached. I'm a physicist. Well, if somebody tells me they're a physicist, I know there's a goal they reached in order to get that title. If you tell me you're a governor, I know there's something you did to get that title. Black women and their idea of being a queen, do you know what they say they did to reach that title?
What is that?
They're black and they're female. That's it. So every black female is a queen. So we have no servants now in this kingdom.
Every black female is not a queen, in my opinion. And it goes again how you carry yourself. But it's more so, again, we have to educate our community and help them to realize what being a queen in details, or how do you quote unquote become a queen in your own castle? Because you could be a queen and king of your own space. You don't have to, in like the literal sense, but it's how you carry yourself. You can't call yourself a queen and then, like you say, you out here and like Muhammad Ali said, but that's a great one to go to. Muhammad Ali, one of his quotes was that, it's hard for a man to protect a woman when she has all her things out and she's making it so open for the world.
Thank you.
So what I'm saying is we have to help, one, raise our girls in our community, and also just push in. We got to start pushing things that are more so positive, that sheds lights to those things. Because what they're seeing is, and I see this in the schools all the time, it's not that they don't want to do quote unquote what is considered right. It's more so what they see that is more so popular and also has monetary gain.
Yep.
That's what they associate being a queen with. They're not associating it with, the action they're doing, but more so what do they have? And they see the diamonds, they see the cars, they see the lifestyle. So if I emulate that, then I get to more so live like a queen. So they're not saying in terms of like the moral perspective, but more so the possession. So like, I'm a queen because I have this, and this.
Yeah, but they know it's all fake. They don't care that they don't have anything. Them ratchet chicks don't think that they got money.
But just like
ratchet.
the Skip Bailey says,
but
all
it's
the time,
popular.
LeBron needs to go. But just like Skip Bailey says, the phony go. We have some phony queens. You gotta learn how to just, move through those phony queens. And as men, most times, we do have that radar. Like, okay, we could tell when a person has good intentions and when their intentions aren't so good. But what I'm saying is we have to keep pushing. Yes, our black women are queens, but we have to show them how to properly be queens. Just like we got to show our black boys.
But you remember what you said about the system and the white man? You said the white man put it in place. This is what you said, to remove the man. So how can you tell this woman, and I asked the question earlier, I said, who can correct black women? If white men can't because they're racist, if other black women can't because they pick me's, and black men can't because they're self-haters, who can actually correct them? And if you said that they've actually put it in place to where they don't have to look to the black man, then why would you say we have to show them when they don't have to listen?
And again, that goes back to the phony. That's the phony perspective of it. The other perspective is there are black women that do listen, and that also have pushed forward and helped black men be greater in their spaces as well. When you have a Dr. King, you have a Coretta Scott King. When you have Malcolm X, you have, I want to say Mrs. Betty. Like, you have black women that are truly
yes, but the sad part is we got to go back that far.
I mean, we can go a little far. We can bring it up a little bit more. We have other.
No, I talked about one of the ones I like is Savannah.
Savannah James. That's my favorite.
But here's the point. How many black women even talk about her in a favorable manner?
I want to say all.
Because she's got a husband and they don't see themselves ever doing that. So what they'll say is, she getting cheated on anyway. They say things like that. They don't uplift Savannah James. They uplift Cardi B. And even Cardi B says to them, the stuff I do? I don't do that around my kids. Even Cardi B said to him, y'all ain't gonna get me to leave my husband because the internet says I should. Even she said it. These women look up the Sexy Red, Lotto. They don't big up no black woman who's literally there with her husband every day and they have a successful marriage. Why not?
I mean, but we do.
If these black women wanted to be queens and love and black love mattered, why is it you don't see black couples who are in love, the major thing that you see out there? Matter of fact, when you see black women say couples goals, what is it usually? Somebody on Love and Hip Hop who argue, fight, and sleep together. That's it. Couples goals. You don't see them saying couples goals to regular, ordinary, married, happy families. And as a matter of fact, you become a target if you're a black woman with a so-called good husband. They will go out of their way to sleep with your husband to prove to you he ain't as good as you thought.
I'll just say, again, I'm going to say I haven't seen anything negative about Savannah James. I've always seen praise for LeBron James and Savannah James.
No, I'm saying you never see much about her, though.
But that's
most people don't even know this woman's name.
She chooses to stay out of the spotlight.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about them knowing that they're together. They know it. Remember, these are the same group of people whose number one show in America for 6 years in a row was Scandal. And Scandal was about a black woman who kept turning down love from black men because she was in love with a white man who was the president, who was married to a white woman and cheating on the white woman with her.
And that's the system.
How in the world could that have been the number one show in America amongst black women? How?
Because that's the system. That's what the system wants the image to be. And
they did not have to watch that, bro. Come on.
Now you run with it because that's what you see. But
they didn't have to watch it. Come on. They didn't watch Big Bang Theory.
They don't find that attractive or entertaining.
Oh.
They don't find it entertaining.
You said the system.
I can't argue for what they have on their palettes, but
that's all I'm saying. So stop blaming anyone else. Blame them. Why is it you keep trying to use other excuses for choices they willfully make?
Because
There's no system that made them watch that.
There's not. There's no system that made them watch it, but it's a system that put it out there. Just like it's a system that's pushing.
There's a system that put a lot of things. Okay, there's a system that put black men kissing each other in the mouth. We don't hold black men to the standard of you don't have to do it because they show it.
We do, but at the same time, we do that with women as well. But what I'm saying is,
no, we don't. You have not said these women, if they love us, they would have been immediately turned off by that. Because let me tell you, if they did a show where the president had been black and he had a black wife and he was cheating on her with a white woman, you think they'd have watched that?
They don't make it. That's what I'm trying to say. The system doesn't make it.
That's what I'm saying. They know they can't make it because every time they've tried to make it, black women have boycotted.
No, they won't. It's not going to be the black women that boycott.
Yes, they will.
It's gonna be those white
there's a show, bro. Yes, they will. They literally got mad at the dude who was the star of Luke Cage because in the show he was sitting up there flirting with Jessica Jones. Then he walked out on Wendy Williams' show. They were cheering for him because he was so hot and he looked so good. They asked if he was married. He said yes. Wendy put up a picture of him and his wife. His wife was white, and the audience booed.
Well, let me give you another more up-to-date one. Let's take The Little Mermaid. Uh-huh. Who was most of the outrage over Halle Bailey, I don't want to get her name wrong, being Ariel in the new Little Mermaid movie? Where was most of the outrage from?
If you look at the numbers, Asian people, because they refuse to watch
Asians, but also the white community. It's tons. You can find, I can go down Facebook stream, because I'm from Jeff Davis, Georgia, right down in the South.
No, it was white people, not just white people.
White people.
It was white
people.
And do you know what? Wait a minute. As the same should have happened, because there's no reason to change a classic. Nobody would want to see a black classic where you then changed it and put white people in place. And you know it. If you grew up reading, here's a better example. How many people complained about what Michael Bay did to Transformers? A lot. Why? Because we grew up knowing the Transformers this way and you changed it. Everybody complains about you changing it. You know damn well if they turned around and did a movie about Martin Luther King and made him white, we'd have a problem.
Yeah, we would.
Yet we cheered we cheered when the dude walked around, when the dude did the Hamilton play and George Washington was black. Alexander Hamilton was black. We were all right with that. And this is our historical figures, not fictional. They're real people. As long as you turn them black, we fine with it. But if you turned around and you turned the Black Panther and had a white man playing it, you know darn well we'd be upset.
I would.
When y'all argue about Ariel, it's wrong. The reason the Asian people said they didn't like a black girl being the Ariel, because they didn't grow up reading that.
Right. But again,
don't try to make it racist when you turn around and just stick black people in something and be surprised that people are bothered by it.
But I'm also raising this outrage in the black community as well. Because part of my reason, I haven't watched it fully yet, but part of the reason I don't really want to watch it is because I don't like, and this was my point before I get to this point. The point I was trying to make about the movies, the reason why they do it like they're doing it, because the populace that buys more things are those Caucasian population, as well as, I guess you want to say the Asians as well. But on the other side of that, I want to say, and Dr. Umar definitely brought this up, look who, and they did it with the Cinderella movie too. Why does every time
they did it with all of them? I know where you're going. I talk about it all the time. They did it. They put the black woman with a non-black man. Every one of them. Father. Hold on, but here's the problem. Do you see Blackwood? You said all these other people complained. Guess who you didn't see complain? So black women had no problem leaving their Kang behind. You don't think that's odd? You don't think it's odd when they sit up there and wanted Halle Bailey to be with the co-star because they were holding hands during a press tour, which they were supposed to do? This woman got a black boyfriend who she loves. His name DDG or something like that. He's a rapper. They kept encouraging her to be with the white boy. You're literally proving my point right now about who's the problem. Who's
But
racist?
outside of that,
You just tried to claim that white men and white women, or mostly white men, were racist because they didn't want to see Ariel. Then what the hell do you think about black women who had no problem in any of these shows? They've never complained that the Princess and the Frog wasn't with a black man. They didn't complain that Brandy's Snow White wasn't with a black man. They never complain. They never say, if you're going to make us a queen, make our man a king too.
and my question is to you: what other black men besides Dr. Umar or the black community in general? Why haven't we outraged over this movie yet?
Hold on, you know why we can't? Because we're raised by black women. And black women tell us they are the only ones who have the option of having a preference. We don't. We're the only ones called color struck, not them. We're the only ones that say we hate our mama because we don't date a black woman. You ain't never heard somebody say to Serena Williams, you hate your daddy because she married a white man. They're the ones who set up and praised a woman who does not look black because she married a redhead prince in Europe. You know how many black women tweet that man and say, thank you for making us princesses. As a black man, what can you say? They tell us all the time. They said in the 80s, the 70s, and the 90s, they used to go on every television show and tell white men like Donahue that they can't find a good black male because they're educated and black men aren't. And y'all said nothing when they said it on the shows. Y'all didn't say anything when they was running behind Travis Kelce. Y'all don't say nothing because you were taught to say nothing because the majority of you were raised by black women who told y'all if they don't want you, you got to accept it. If you ain't 6 feet, accept it. It's my preference. If you don't make 6 figures, accept it. It's my preference. If you don't have swag, accept it. It's my preference. But if you say you like light-skinned girls with natural hair, you're a colorist. If you say you want to deal with somebody who ain't loud and run around with weave on, well, guess what? You hate yourselves.
So let me ask you this, since using the same thing that you were just saying. So what should black men do about it? If we want to be in those positions, what should we do as black men?
Well, first off, do like me. If black women are constantly telling you, leave me alone. If black women are constantly telling you, I date white men because that was the best available option, then you need to say the same thing when you do it. You don't need to date because your mama black. You don't need to have them be able to threaten you and make you feel bad because of your preference, because we can't threaten them and make them feel bad. Never let somebody tell you your dating preference should be this because of your mama. That sounds incestuous. They're the only people who say stuff like that. When a white man says he only date black women, have you ever heard them complain and say he must hate his mama?
No, but I guarantee it's shunned. I guarantee you it's shunned. White, and it's...
Whoa. No. I said, have you... who shuns it? Black women shun a white boy that says he only like black women?
No, but white women and white men do.
I didn't ask that then. I said black women are the ones who tell us openly, you hate yourself and your mama because you won't date somebody that look like your mama. They said it about LeBron James' son. They didn't say it about Serena Williams. They didn't say it about any of them white boys who say they love black women.
We gotta say it. It's men. We gotta say it. We gotta.
You just asked that. That was my point. My point is, y'all let these women get away with running you and lying to you and forcing you in places they will not force themselves. Why would you do it as a man? No other race of man will allow his woman to push him around like black women are. You remember what you said, that white women would have a problem? Well, ain't no white woman ever told Travis Kelce publicly at all, you hate your mama because you with them black girls. Ever. You've never seen it.
Say it again.
Travis Kelce. Right. You've never seen white women shun him publicly because he with black women.
Why not?
Al Pacino. Did Al Pacino or Robert De Niro, did he not get jobs because he kept sleeping with black women?
But again, if a white person speaks out about that, or a white male speaks out about that, they're gonna be labeled racist, and they don't want that.
So you just proved my point. You just proved my point. What I was saying earlier. The most racist, and we got to go by the name that they're using, because remember you said they'd be labeled racist. That's why I said the most racist people are black women, because they can say something about anybody. They can put anybody down. They can generalize anybody, and no one says a word to them. They can talk bad about black men, call black men the F word all day, and gay people don't even tell them, you can't be using that word. You see it all day. Tell me I'm lying. Every time they disagree with a black man, one of the first things they throw out is the F word.
Because I want to choose my words wisely, because I want to, it's a lot of cancel culture. So I don't want to even get into that can of, that's a can
No,
of
but
worms.
that's why you don't have to say it. But my point is, they don't get canceled. How is it that they can say these words out loud and don't get canceled?
What I'm saying is, we have to come together as black man and black woman.
You ignoring it.
I'm not ignoring it, but what I'm saying is, what we gotta do is come together as black men and black women. And again, I'm not racist, I'm not prejudiced in any way, but I do believe in, like, black man should be with a black woman should be with a black man, because that's how we push our lineage. That's how we push our genetics.
And notice we can say that, and you can say that and still go work at CNN and not get fired.
And again, but why
I can say that right now, and not one white person would be offended.
Because again, that goes back to that system of why black people can't be racist. Black people more so cannot be racist in the terms of oppressing people, because we can't be racist,
but we can be bigots.
We can't be bigoted.
That's a bigoted statement of a white person. Why are you ignoring the fact that if a white person said that exact same thing, he'd lose his job?
Because
if a white man said, I have nothing against blacks, I just want my children and grandchildren to look like me.
Because there's never been a system where it says there was black only, where it was where black people.
I asked you earlier, what did I ask you to please stop talking about?
Which one?
The system.
Oh, the system, okay.
Please quit blaming the system. These are things that people can put together and say themselves. Why is it that this so-called racist white system will punish one of their own for saying something and promoting something that apparently they should want? How is that? Because blacks don't have enough power to punish nobody. All the punishing that's going on, we don't have enough power to do.
Because the history behind it. The history of a white man saying that, and when they have made laws and actually killed other races of people for that is different.
Yeah, but they're not doing it now. You can't hold people to history. That don't make sense. They're just saying we want our people to look like our people. Not saying, usually when people say that, they get to killing. That doesn't make sense. That's not even fair. Do you hear what you're saying?
I do. But again, I'm just telling you why it's perceived in that way. It's the perception of it. So it's not that they're racist, but it's the perception of, based on the history of people that say those things, whether it's a neo-Nazi or whether it's the Klan or whether it's, just segregationists or the Dixie Party.
Well, we shouldn't be allowed to say it then.
We shouldn't.
They could say, well, I remember when black people say that. Those are like the Black Panthers, and you see what they did. By the same logic.
The Black Panthers aren't aren't the same as that, though. But I'm saying the Black Panther Party movement was a party movement to empower black people to, again, the things that you were talking about earlier, starting our own schools.
Did any Black Panthers do any violence?
They did do.
At all.
Say it again.
Did any Black Panthers do any violence at all?
Yes, but it was not in the terms of proactive violence. It was more so reactive violence.
Reactive to what?
To the white individuals that were threatening the black community.
Okay, and the Klan literally was formed because it was what? Reactive. Because they felt like their jobs and their land and their way of life was being threatened by the freed blacks. Is that true or not?
You can say that's true, but again...
Matter of fact, one of the selling points they made was a show called Birth of a Nation, which was showing how these freed black men were out doing what to white women? Having sex and taking their babies and... Yes! So if we want to excuse things because, well, it's just a reaction to it, well, then that ball never stops rolling. If I can excuse my behavior because it's a reaction to I feel that I'm being encroached upon, so therefore I can do violence, but my violence is justified. Martin Luther King never believed that. Why did the Nation of Islam, Farrakhan, explain this? Why did they off Malcolm X? because they felt like he was disrespecting them. He was disrespecting the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So it was a reaction. They weren't gonna do it. He made them. See, we're doing too much excusing of bad behavior, but then asking bad behavior to not be done to us. It's not right, and most men, as you know, ain't gonna allow it. You won't allow me to sit here on this line, keep on disrespecting you, and then asking you to respect me.
That's true. But
and that's what we're doing as blacks. We're asking whites to respect us. Do not tell me about what happened in the past. As a matter of fact, when you were a kid and you were trying to explain to your mama and grandmama them that the reason you and your friend fighting is because, what would they always tell you? Y'all squash it now and move forward. Wouldn't they?
Correct.
So why is it that blacks and whites can't say, let's squash it now if we're gonna keep living in the same house and judge each other going forward off of the rule we set in place? Not keep on saying whites who weren't even alive at the time that we're talking about still are being held to the standard of what they did back then. Because you remember what you said, Dixiecrats, Klan members and all this. Well, these aren't them.
No, but you have judges, politicians, you have, FBI.
Yeah, but a judge and politician has nothing to do with a white guy saying, I want my kids to look like my grandkids. I want my grandkids to look like my great-grandkids. That has nothing to do with a judge or a politician. He ain't stopping you from doing anything. He's saying what he wants personally.
And that's fine.
The same thing that you are able to say and not get in trouble. When you say you want your kids to be black, are you saying that you want to harm white people?
But again, who's holding them accountable by that? Who is holding those white individuals?
We are the ones who get upset.
If nobody fired.
Wait a minute. Look, you hear what I'm saying? We get upset. You remember you just said they don't want to be labeled racist. If we don't care what white people do, why the hell do we care that a white man wants to be with a white woman? Well, that should be acceptable to us.
And we don't care about that. And I'm telling you.
Yeah, we do, because we complain if he says it.
What I'm saying is the ones who cancel them and fire them are their own people, their own white dudes.
Okay,
people.
And wait a minute. They would not do it if we didn't complain, and you know it.
We complain about.
If whites were able to just say it, it's the same thing about with the trannies. Because you have a system of trannies get mad and complain, somebody does something.
Who does something though?
But there was just 20 years ago when you could make the same joke and no one got fired.
So who's doing the firing and who is in control?
I'm telling you, I just said they do it in a response to you complaining.
Okay, so when we complain about Trayvon Martin's killer getting off, when we complain about George, George Zimmerman, why is he locked up there? We still complain about it to this day.
Hold on, sir, because there's a thing called double jeopardy, and you know that.
Even outside, I'm saying, even before they even got to that point when he was on trial or any.
It's a trial.
Exactly. So why?
No. I can't believe you just said exactly. It's a trial, so you have jurors.
Exactly.
You see what he just did? Like he laughed. He said exactly to something he was completely wrong about. I hate when black folks do that. Exactly. Why would you yell exactly when you just put
you
white
hold him accountable? The judge is a white man.
No, listen to what you said. You said if we complain, why didn't they arrest him? I said, first off, it's double jeopardy. You said, yeah, but we were complaining before. So wait a minute, you wanted a predetermined outcome to the trial?
Yes, if you, not saying predetermined outcome, because that's...
Yes, you just did.
We're getting into rhetoric now. We're not doing rhetoric. What I'm saying is this.
So you throw a word out that doesn't mean anything, but black folks are afraid of that word, rhetoric?
No, because what I'm saying is that I'm not going to say any of those tropes.
No, I was just saying use the word rhetoric, and we know most black people don't even know what words mean, but when they hear the word rhetoric, now everybody's using that word over and over again, but most people don't know what it means, but it's a bad word.
It's not a bad word.
All I said was, I said this simply, and this is why I'm saying what your word rhetoric does not count, because listen to what happened. I said he was tried, and once he was found not guilty, if you're saying they complained, why isn't he arrested? I said that would be double jeopardy. You said no, they were complaining before the verdict. I said, oh, so they wanted a predetermined outcome. You said no, that's rhetoric. How was that rhetoric? If you want me arrested and put in jail, if you want me arrested and jailed before the trial, is that not predetermined outcome?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is during the trial, while the trial was participating, before the outcome of the trial was determined, while the trial was going on, the people that were in power were the judge and the jury. If the judge is white and majority of the jury is white, and
and the DA,
no matter how much black people were complaining, did we get an outcome that we wanted? Yes or no?
Hold on. George Zimmerman was initially not arrested at all, wasn't he?
True.
True. When was he arrested?
After the video got out of what happened. Right.
No, after black people started complaining.
No, again, you have to wait.
Yes. It was the white boy in New York was just indicted. The white woman who shot through the door was just arrested. Both of them were indicted and arrested after what?
After a trial.
No. An indictment is not after a trial. Arrest is not after a trial.
But again, what I'm saying is not because the black people are upset. That's part of it. That's part of it. But
it ain't part of it. Literally, they weren't arrested. Neither one until blacks complain. And you won't admit that? This is a fact. This should be something that no one debates. These people were considered what they did not break the law. Until black people went to CNN and said, if they want to arrest them, they're racist.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, then what happened?
That's not how the world works. That's not how the world works.
But no. Then what happened? Tell me what happened. Since everybody saw it and you're saying that's not what happened. Tell me what happened.
That's what I'm saying. You said everybody saw it. Everybody saw it, including black people, white people.
No. I said everybody saw that they weren't arrested at first. Black folks, Benjamin Crump, it wasn't no white lawyer up there. It was the same black folks standing there calling it racist. White people were not complaining about either of these events.
Because it's not happening to their community.
Oh my God. See what he did? Y'all, everybody listening. See what he just did? I said nothing wrong. You should not have to tell me it because. If I was right, I didn't ask you why. If he said, you punched that girl in the face. If I punched that girl in the face, why would I deny that I punched her at first? Then he holds me to it by showing the video. Then I say, because. All I said was white people were not offended. These people were not arrested until black people complained. What he should have said was, you're right. But he refuses to say that. The question is why?
And again, what I'm saying is, it's the outrage, it's all together. Yes, black people have to outrage, because if we don't outrage, just like Martin Luther King said, like you were speaking earlier, silence makes you comply with it. You're just as guilty. So you have to say something. You got to speak up for your community because it's your community.
That's not speaking up for your community. If just because a white, no, that's not speaking up for your community. If just because a white person did it, it's wrong, even when we don't know we don't know the law and we don't know the evidence. That's literally not right. We don't go around doing that when a black person kill a black person and they still free.
And again, that goes back to cultural.
A black woman just shot a black woman just shot two black women live on Facebook because they showed up at her house. They didn't have weapons. They did not touch her. She shot and killed them both. She has not been arrested. Ain't now Ben Crump, ain't now black person said Black Lives Matter. Not one. She murdered two women on video who had no weapons. She shot one and she ran away. She's still free right now. No black person's complaining. You mean to tell me those two black women's lives don't matter, but we all right with it because a black woman did it?
No, it doesn't make it right.
Yet there's no complaint.
There are complaints.
No, it isn't. Show me the video. Show it. Show me right now. Tell me where I can find. Tell me where I can find people protesting outside that woman's house, please.
No, we're not protesting outside of her house. No, we are not.
Show me where
that.
Benjamin Crump said these two black women should not have lost their lives over an argument.
They shouldn't have. No.
I said, show me where Benjamin Crump is saying it.
But what I'm saying
Show me where Tariq Nasheed or Dr. Umar Johnson is saying we need justice for these 2 black women.
I can show you differently. With Dr.
Oh my
Umar,
God! See, y'all see?
No.
I love talking to you,
Dr.
bro.
Umar
But the fact that you will not admit that what I said is 1,000% right, you keep trying to talk around it. There's no way to talk around it. This woman is free and no one cares.
What state was she in?
Hold on a second.
What state? We're gonna go to law. What state was she in?
You said now we're gonna go to the law. Oh my God! George Zimmerman was in Florida. What the hell was the law there?
It was a stand your ground law.
And he won. So why would you keep saying he should be arrested?
What I'm saying is this. Based on the evidence of that video, he was not standing his ground. He approached Trayvon. He was
There was no, see what he just said? Based on the evidence of that video.
Of the video,
Ladies and gentlemen, there literally is no video of George Zimmerman. There's no video. There's none.
On the phone. Yes, there was.
No, there wasn't.
I don't think there is a video. I was thinking that too. I don't think there's a video.
There isn't.
There is a video of
There is no video. There was no camera that caught them. There's none. This is a complete lie.
What I'm saying is this.
No, not what I'm saying. You just lied, and there was no reason to tell a lie. Sir,
you recording. There was a recording. I'm sorry. There's a recording.
No. Okay, hold on a second. You said there was a video of it.
I meant a video recording of the phone call. So
sir, no. Wow, this is what he's doing. Y'all, this is why I told y'all I have a hard time talking to black women and black men raised by black women. He will not, at one time when he stopped and been wrong, he refuses. He starts saying something else. He said, now I said there's a video of the audio. That makes no sense.
That's what okay. It makes no sense. So what I should have said.
There's a video of the audio.
You're right. It makes no sense. So what I'm going to do is double back and say it was a recording. It was a recording of the
and the recording showed that he was innocent. The only thing they heard in the recording, the only thing the recording heard was him saying, "Help!"
Did the dispatcher not tell him not to engage? Yes,
sir. The dispatcher is not the police, and that's exactly what
the dispatcher tells you not to engage.
No, that is not true. The dispatcher is not the police, but the dispatcher tells you that there's a white woman in her own house. The dispatcher told her not to shoot the man that's about to come in the door, told her to go hide. She shot that man that came in the door. The dispatcher is not the law. They literally tell you that. You should know this. You want to talk about the law, and yet you don't want to know it, apparently. The dispatcher can tell you any fucking thing. You don't have to do that.
Okay.
There's never been someone that's been arrested because they didn't follow the damn rules of the dispatcher.
Okay.
And then your response was, okay. So if you're talking to a dumb nigga and you say things that are untrue, the majority of dumb niggas will sit there and be like, yeah, he's right. Because if I wasn't here to correct you, people in the audience would think you were right. They would think there's a video out there of George Zimmerman killing Trayvon in cold blood, and they just ignored it. They'd also think that you were right, that if the 911 dispatcher, who's a motherfucker that make $19 an hour and has no qualifications other than to be able to type, if they tell you something and you don't do it, you broke the law. Come on, man. We can't, when you said we got to teach and educate, then why is the first thing we don't do is actually teach and educate? Why do we want to play to people's emotions? Because that's what you just did. Which
I'm not playing to your emotions. What I'm trying to tell you.
No, I said people's emotions. The black people who want to believe that George Zimmerman still broke the damn law and should be in jail. After all these years, still want to tell a lie. After all these years.
Like, why
did you know that girl, did you know that Rachel Juntile
say it again?
Actually never even knew Trayvon Martin?
No, I'm talking about the other dude that was just speaking. I want to hear what he was saying. He said something he wanted answered.
Okay, go ahead.
I guess he didn't hear. He had said something. I couldn't pick up what he was saying.
Well, did you know that girl, that literally was all made up? That wasn't the girl that he was on the phone with. The original girl didn't want to go to court because she was fucking two dudes at once, Trayvon and another guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what they did was they made this girl up, so it was a complete lie.
So as a black community, what should we be doing right now is my question.
So you're going to skip that part about this whole, you brought up Trayvon Martin. And yet you don't want to know the facts of the case to realize that people are upset when they were lied to. You remember how you talked about that system? Well, that same white system wanted black people to be mad. They wanted black people to burn down their own communities. They want black people to constantly go around calling white people racist. If you believe that this system is out there and this system was willing to destroy black fathers and take them out of the house, I agree with you. That also that system is willing to intensify the fires between blacks and whites, even when it doesn't exist. It makes you want to be mad at George Zimmerman, but not mad at this black woman who shot 2 black women and is still free and has no issues. Many of us, like myself, know black men who've murdered other black men who still walk around the hood and no one turns them in. Yet Zimmerman needed to be turned in because he racist.
Hey, my Wi-Fi cut out. What I was saying was, why can't black folks just admit that they had a problem with George Zimmerman because they see him as white? Like, black people, he wasn't even white. That's why I said they see him as white. Because in no other context would a black person argue that you have to listen to a dispatcher, whatever they're called. Niggas will say they'll justify not even listen to the actual police.
Hold on, these people wouldn't even listen to if you remember how this show started, you remember what it was about? Niggas not listening to rules they signed up for when they went to school. It's just hilarious. Now, George Zimmerman should have listened to the dispatcher, but they didn't have to listen to the motherfucking school principal. Nope.
But and I told you I agree with you about the rules on the school.
Yeah, you said you agreed about the first one, but you said the second one that might have went too far.
Yeah, because I mean, again, it's hair. It's pink hair, okay?
No, they didn't say anything about her pink hair. I said something about her pink hair.
I'm saying pink hair, or either with the people screaming in the crowd.
That's the problem. You said even with that, they said don't do it. There's a zero tolerance. There's a zero tolerance rule of showing your ass crack at my job. You want to tell me you only showed a little?
No, and I agree. But what I'm saying is this. That's why I said I agree with you about following the rules. If a dispatcher telling you, which no, she's not a law enforcement individual, but she's telling you something that she perceives or he.
No, that's not following the rule. Listen to what you just said. That is not following the rule. If this person was in the position to tell you a rule and you were supposed to listen, that's following the rules. But you can't just be at a school and a random person come up to school and tell you what you need to do. The hall monitor can't tell you, you can stay out as long as you want. And you know that everybody else says that hall monitor doesn't have that power.
Yeah, the hall monitor doesn't have the power, but the teacher tells you that you can stay out, you can.
Yes, hold on. Yes, because the teacher has that power. The person who was talking did not and has never had that power. The dispatcher has never had that power, ever. Even after this case with all that outrage, you know what they've never said? From now on, if the dispatcher says something, you got to listen to them. It's law. Why won't they say that? Because it would be a stupid law. A person that does not know the law is now telling you what to do.
But if someone asks you not to engage in a situation,
oh my God, you're just gonna keep on. Wow, you just.
What I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
So if I walked up and told you not to engage, you should be able to go to jail because you did.
Say again?
If I walk up and tell you not to engage.
No, because you have no training to tell me not to engage.
That woman didn't even. Oh my God, I just said that.
Dispatcher? You don't have a training to be a dispatcher?
No, they don't have the training. They don't. They literally don't. Do you know what their training is?
Every job. Dang near every job has training.
Directed to somebody else.
Thank you. They direct you to someone else who is trained. That's their job. That's why their word, and listen to what their title is, since you might not know. Just break a word down.
Dispatch the police. But they also have protocols for if you call the police, a dispatcher, let's say you're suicide, they have suicide hotlines, but they have things for those people to say to talk those people down.
Oh, so no,
what I'm saying is, no, it's not.
They have things,
but they're telling you things to protect yourself.
They tell those people, here's how you handle it, and you direct them to a professional. It's the same way as if you call a law firm and they tell you, I can't give you legal advice, so no matter what the fuck I tell you, you can't walk in a court
Okay.
I don't represent you.
Okay. But back to
You
what
can't go to court and say, that lawyer told me, and that lawyer goes, say, I wasn't your lawyer.
So let me
And
ask.
he's an actual lawyer. But if you didn't retain him, you can't go to court and talk about what they told you.
Okay. And again, now my question is this for you. Since you're saying these things about the black community and how, we don't have outrage over black crime, why aren't you, not saying that, why aren't you raising that crime, but why have you got together with some people around, a group of black individuals that feel the same way as you, and then bring that forward and create that organization?
Wait a minute, but I have.
So that we can.
But wait a minute, but I have. See, I don't argue facts. I'm not going to, I just told you that I got a child right here that is probably mad at me that I'm still doing this show and I probably need to cut it off. I got a child who I raised who goes to a private school. And you know what I've never went to the school to do? Argue that she broke the fucking rule. What I would do is argue that the rule is unfair before the rule hits her. See, blacks are too reactionary instead of being proactive.
We have to be proactive, right?
If you're reactive, you're constantly saying someone did something to you. But it was a rule that was already known. So you ask me, why am I not? I'm not doing the things you're talking about because I don't believe in sending black people out to argue and die about things they're wrong about. That's crazy to me. Why would I tell black people to be mad at what happened with George Zimmerman when one, he ain't white, and two, he wasn't wrong? He wasn't.
What I'm saying is this. I'm talking about the case that you were talking about with the black women that shot.
The two black women.
Yes.
So, no, because see,
when you see black on black crime.
Wait a minute. I feel the same way about Zimmerman as I do about her. They shouldn't have been in her yard. I don't think you have the right to walk into people's yard. They pay good money to live there. You don't have the right to come in my yard threatening me and cussing at me. You don't.
Right.
Leave me alone.
What was your argument?
Wait a minute.
Then?
So I feel the same way. I'm fair. That's what you're missing. I don't see color. I saw the law. And that's a misconception, not misconception, I'm sorry. That's a phrase that I don't agree with in general, because I feel like trying to say you don't see color is... No, I didn't say I don't see color in everything. I'm talking about legal stuff. If I know I want the law to treat me fair when I go there, I better do it to others.
Okay.
You're not hearing what I'm saying? I better do it to others. When we're talking about the law, if we start saying we're going to do legal things because of what color you are, we're going to lose that one because we're a minority.
Right. They're the majority.
So why would I start doing something that I know is going to cause me an issue?
What I'm saying is when you and the other guy were talking about the black violence in the black community, if you see that there is and you say you know people that guys that are murderers that's walking around the hood, well, why don't we start those organizations that you see their gap that there needs to be filled? But I talk about it. When you say start them organizations, you see what I'm doing right now? That's starting an organization. This is a group of people who are sitting up here saying, if you have those murderers in your neighborhood, you need to say something about them. Not having no snitch policy. So when you say, why don't you start that's
an
not
organization?
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, because there's a lot of people that sat around and talked about the civil rights movement.
That's all you'd be doing.
That get out and actually get active about it. No, that's
all you'd be doing.
You can get out.
Yes, when you get out, you still be doing what?
The whole protest.
Hold on. When you get out, you be doing what?
We're actually actively engaging the people.
And still what? But still what?
It's talking, yes, but
sure is.
Sir,
I can't make a law. I can't make a law, and they've never been able to do it in the United States, where I gotta force you to tell. I can only ask.
But again, what I'm saying is, when you say ask, outside of just being on this group right here,
I'm not going to a community that harbors that.
Why not?
Because I'm not armed. Because just like that, wait. Just like that dispatcher, I'm not qualified to go into that area and do that.
Was Martin Luther King qualified?
I tried it. Let me tell you something. You said, why don't you go do it? I tried it in Harlem. You know what happened to me in Harlem?
What's that?
I got assaulted. I got assaulted for being a person who's just like you just said, why don't you go tell them crazy black people to their face? Well, I did. And got assaulted for it. So you think I'm supposed to leave my child and my family to go and tell a bunch of people who've shown me up front they're violent?
Do you want change?
I don't want it that bad, sir. If I can't do it from the safety of my own home, sir, no. You didn't hear what listen, sir. One of us is being honest and the other one isn't. I don't think I should have to lose my life to argue with them. I'd rather the white man put them down. When he go in their neighborhood and he shoot them, I'm all right with it now because you put your hands on me and all I was doing was talking to you.
And that's the problem.
How is that a problem?
We have to stand up as black men and black women. And
oh my God, y'all hear what he's saying? I should sit there and risk my life to have a discussion with them.
I surely do. I teach right in the West End every day with the most, I guess.
Go ahead.
The community you
sir. And how much change have you made?
Enough.
Thank you.
Enough. You got to keep.
No.
It's a gradual step.
Anybody that's ever made change quantifies what they've done. Anybody that's ever, as a matter of fact, let me tell you about change. A homeless person who collects change quantifies it at the end of the day. Every day. They quantify it. They can tell you how long they spent at a corner and how much they made at that corner, to the point where they will fight somebody else who tries to take their corner. We just had a man that tried to tell me about what I should be doing. But I can tell that man, I guarantee you, he can Google me and see I've done more work and changed more people's lives than he has. But he's telling me I should have to go, only way I can do it is to go into violent neighborhoods and plead with them. That I should do that if I want to make change. Other than that, I can't make change, says a man who doesn't know that the person he's talking to went to Capitol Hill. Says the man who doesn't understand that the man he's talking to made a movie called A Fatherless America. Says the man who doesn't understand that I'm the same man who went to Staten Island after the man got choked out, who went to Ferguson after Mike Brown got shot, who then was in Compton, California, walking the streets during the Trayvon Martin march. But it's always somebody online that try to tell me that I shouldn't be online because they don't know my path.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying you.
No. Yeah, because if you did, you wouldn't have asked me that question.
What I'm saying,
you would have known what I did.
As a community, I'm not just saying you in general. I'm saying all of us. If we have a problem,
you actually said me because I said I got assaulted. Wait a minute. You said me.
Let's correct.
You were talking about me directly, sir. You can't now try to change it. You do that a lot. You will change what you said and act like you didn't say it. You just said you weren't talking about me. You literally were talking directly about me.
But not just you is what I'm saying. I'm talking about all of us. I'm talking about all of us. Yes, I'm asking you because this is your platform. But what I'm saying is, and to everyone that's listening, as a black community, if we have a problem with what's going on with the black community, it's not about outsourcing it to the white man. It's not outsourcing it to any other race besides our own race. So if we have a problem with it, let's start those movements. If you don't like Black Lives Matter, let's start something else.
Have you ever heard of the saying? Have you ever heard of this saying? You can lead a horse to water. What's the rest of it?
But you can't make them drink it. That's true.
Okay.
But sometimes you got to teach a man to fish when the only thing they want to do is be given a fish.
Hold on. You teach a man to fish.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hold on. You teach a man to fish. A man that's asking to fish. A man that's asking for a fish. You don't teach a man to fish that ain't asking you for no fish. You don't teach a man to fish that telling you, I don't like fish. What you're saying, you won't even admit that I have every anecdote to show you that what you're saying is wrong. It even tells you when you're swimming and you see somebody else drowning. What does it tell you not to do if they're flailing?
Not them, because they'll probably pull you down with them.
In an airplane, it tells you to do what with your mask before you try to help somebody else?
Put yours on first.
Okay, so you just told me, a man with a family that's got to be there to take care of them, that I should go into a group of people that don't want to hear my rhetoric, as you called it. They don't want to hear it. They've said up front, I don't want to hear it. But I should go give it to them where they are. I shouldn't do it by the safety of the internet, to where if they don't like it, they can't harm me. They can't throw something at me. I'm wrong for doing that.
No,
I'm wrong for
wrong.
saying my message should be for those who are willing to listen. They might not do it, but they're willing to listen.
I'm not saying you were wrong for using your platform. What I'm saying is your platform is a step. But to push that step, let's get people together, not you by yourself. Come on, I don't want to take no man be in danger. They feel a black man trying to support his family, take care of his family. But as a man, that you were saying, you have a man, you have all these things, you have all these resources, you've done all these things. You are a leader. So as a leader, you can organize people in those communities that do want to listen, but there are some people in those communities that want to listen. No majority of them don't, but some of them do.
Yes, and hold on. And what they do is you let them come to you. They know to walk out of that situation. It's the same thing they do in those communities, is it not? They know when they, let me tell you what a gay man who hangs out with straight men do when he want to do gay shit. You know what he does?
Come in.
He go to gay shit. He go to places where they doing gay shit at. He won't do it in front of those people. Why not?
Because that's not what's accepted. That's not what they do. That's not what they like.
So everybody, common sense, even when you were a Black Panther, what did you do when you wanted to avoid the white man and the CIA being in your business and trying to squash it before you ever got it off the ground? Did you walk up to the white man and tell him what you was doing?
No.
No, you didn't. So that's how I should handle it. There are Black people. The thing about, when you told me I'm a leader, cool. Let me tell you what leaders do. They move forward. They don't look back. What a leader does is like what Lewis and Clark did with Sacagawea. They didn't look back and go and get no white people and bring them out west with them, did they? Nope. They made the road, and everybody who thought they wanted to go west followed it. See, every other community knows what a leader is. The leader leads from the front.
And my argument is this. Besides Lewis and Clark, let's take Dr. King. Dr. King was what you just described as the perfect example. Outside of what happened at the end. He was a Black man who went to communities that didn't want.
He said, you see how he said that? Outside of what happened at the end.
Outside of what happened at the end. He
Outside of that.
He wasn't assassinated by us. He wasn't assassinated by us.
Other than the fact that he was killed.
But who was he killed by is what I'm saying. He wasn't assassinated by us.
Hands the title of the room or not?
So what?
Are y'all get to the hands the title of the room, or is this a personal conversation?
No, go. You can jump in with us if you hear what we're saying or you have something to say. I'm open.
No, I wait until y'all done. I'm just
Okay,
saying,
but you were talking about Martin Luther King. My point is they still did it the way that they had to do, just like Jesus. Martin Luther King wasn't dumb enough to go do something to cause problems, and he damn sure wasn't trying to do it.
Yes, he did.
No, he wasn't. Hold on, let me point out what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
What he did was he made sure he had enough backing to do it. Most people will tell you Martin Luther King had a lot of backing from a lot of whites.
He did. Jews too.
Mainly Jews, yes. Mainly them.
But did he not get hit? Did he not get beat, abused? Did he not get thrown in jail?
Hold on. Yes. And I just told you I did.
A lot of that was set
also,
up too.
Martin Luther King, when he had all his men around them and guards around them, and they went and did something, and he did something that he felt was right in the way in which he could do it. Just like a pastor. A pastor preaches in the church.
Right.
Everybody does what they think they're good at doing. I understand that the people that I would be telling this don't want to hear this. Martin Luther King had hundreds of thousands of people walking and marching with him when he said the things he said. Do you think he would have marched on Washington by himself?
No. That's why I was trying to say again.
That's my point. So you're asking me to walk into the belly of the beast by myself and tell these people who don't think, because I don't know if you know anything about a 12-step program, but let me ask you something. What's the first step of 12-step?
I do not know about a 12-step program at all, so I'm not educated enough to
admit you got a problem.
Ooh, thank you, bro. And they can't help you. They can't force you out of your alcoholism, out of whatever drug you are on. They can't force you out of it. You have to want out of it. And that's what I say. Any Black folks that ask me to come speak at their community, because I've done that. Anytime Black, and that's how you know what? On the time I got hit in Harlem, do you know I was invited to come there? I was invited by Blacks to come speak to Blacks. And I cared so much about that community. You know how much I charged them?
$0.
Free.
No money. I told them I'd do it for free. I told Sanetta I will do it for free. I showed up with my camera. I showed up with my equipment. I paid my own flight. I paid my own hotel to go speak to those people. And within minutes, guess what happened? I was punched in the back of the head for answering a Black man's question. He asked me, why did I say what I say? I responded. And look what's happening in the comment section. The dude who's requesting to come up here, and I know what he's gonna do, come up here and probably talk shit. Somebody named Smooth. I said what happened. Look what he keeps posting up. Smiley faces. The other guy posts up smiley face. Who's got his hand up. The one who decided to jump in and to disrupt our conversation, to ask what we're doing. This is the black people you think I'm supposed to go talk to who don't even know how to talk like a
I didn't disrespect the room. I was just asking because y'all have.
You disrespect the room when I told you I got assaulted. You disrespected the room when I said I got assaulted for trying to help people, and you laughed.
No, I wasn't laughing at that.
What were you laughing?
What I was laughing at?
What were you laughing at?
You said somebody's name, and I laughed at the name.
You laughed at whose name?
You said my brother Smooth G. You said you got a problem with Smooth G, so I laughed.
What problem did I say I had with Smooth G?
You said he was gonna come up and be disrespectful or whatever.
No. See, there you go. See, y'all see what they're doing? The same thing the other man did.
You was inferring.
Y'all notice that they're doing the same thing the other man did. No matter when you catch them in something, they make an excuse for what it is that they're doing. I laughed because you said something to my man who was laughing. I laughed. Now, again, I'm having a regular conversation with this man. Regular conversation. Me and him been having a good one for a long time. No disrespect. None. For hours. Show still going. Other people want to come up. Have no problem letting them up. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let them up. And I'm going to let y'all hear it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, okay, let me address the topic of the room.
Go ahead.
Why don't black people go where their behavior is wanted? It ain't so much so black people don't go where our behavior is wanted. Everybody try to be like us. Everybody want to be like us. It's people coming into our neighborhoods, making our neighborhoods more degenerate. You got all these third world immigrants coming into our neighborhood who say that we want to live around MS-13 cartels, pedophiles, murderers and rapists and everything that's going on that they flood our community with. At one time, we was able to leave our doors unlocked, but now in 2023, we'll be a motherfucking fool to leave our doors unlocked.
Okay, who's coming in your door? Who's coming in your door? Why can't you leave your door unlocked?
Because it's a third world country, and Black Americans need to leave the inner cities.
It's because Black Americans.
Black Americans need to leave the inner cities.
You said it's because of a third world country. So hold on a second.
Black Americans.
Wait, hold on. So let me ask you something.
Making our communities.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Where we live and we built these motherfucking communities.
Y'all
these
hear
people
what
coming over here riding our coattails, trying to be like us, trying to act like us, and we set the precedent of not only being the most morale people on the planet, but the most inventive people on the planet.
Do you know the difference? Hold on. Wait.
Music.
Okay, hold on a minute.
Invention.
Wait. Y'all see what just happened? Me and this other man never had this problem. That you just start talking and won't stop. For some odd reason, black people's ears don't work when their mouth is working. And I don't think that's how you have a conversation with anyone. When y'all have been able to say something when I'm talking, I hear you speaking and I say, what did I mess up? Y'all have never seen me sit up here and talk and just keep talking, and the other people who are on the panel can't ask me a question about what I'm saying. It's never happened. This man came up to my panel. He's just rambling things now, but doesn't want to have a conversation with me. And I don't understand that. And I'm gonna ask you, brother, let your ears work while your mouth is working. That's how a conversation works. You can't just say things and not have them challenged. I won't just say things and not have it challenged. Let's try again. We can challenge each other, brother. If we can't, it stops being a conversation. I was asking you simply. You keep saying these other people from other places. I can name you several.
I'm talking about foreigners. I'm talking Jamaicans. I'm talking Haitians. I'm talking Africans.
I get it. So you're just going to name every country or not understand that I get it now? See what just happened? You're talking about these people from other places. I'm talking about Jamaicans. I'm talking about Haitians. I get it. You're talking about people from other countries. I'm talking about Nigerians. I'm talking about Algerians. I'm talking about Colombians. Yeah, I get it. You're talking about people from other places. I'm talking about space people from Mars. You're just going to keep on naming things?
You asked me a question, I answered.
No, I said you're talking about people from other places.
Did you not
The answer is yes.
Question? Did I answer your question, right?
No, you didn't. You start naming the places.
Exactly.
I didn't ask you to name them.
Precise.
I don't want to know the places if you're saying they're from other places. If we say that America is importing things, and the person says, what is our import percentage? I just want to know the percentage of all the imports. You don't have to tell me each place. Give me the total. Let's make the conversation short. It's Father's Day, man. Let's make it short. I get it. You're blaming it on other people, not Black Americans. But they're still Black. And then you say they're emulating your culture. Then you said we are the highest morale people. But I was trying to tell you, words matter. Morale and morality are different. Moral and morale are two different things. They sound alike, they're almost spelled alike, but they don't mean the same. So what you just said is that Blacks just hype each other up. Morale. But what you meant was moral. When you say things, make them make sense, because you have an audience who's listening to you. Every time we Black people go out in front of the world and say things and don't know what words mean, they laugh at us. That's why you had in Living Color, when you had the jail guy saying all kind of words that he didn't know. That's why most people look at pro-Blacks as just a bunch of people saying pseudoscience instead of real science.
So are you gonna nitpick or are you gonna address what was?
I did address it. I said they're Black too, though. They're Black.
No, they're not. They're not Black. They're not Black.
What are they?
Black. They're African. They're Jamaican. They're Haitian. They're not Black.
That's their nationality.
And nor do they call themselves Black.
Okay, but that's their country. Okay, so they don't call themselves.
They're not Black.
So how are they hijacked? So you're worried about Haitians and them running up in your house. If it wasn't for Haitians, you'd be able to leave your house, or if it wasn't for Jamaicans.
Not just them. You got.
I said every one of these places outside of America. Jesus Christ, every place outside of America. Have we established that? Or you still feel the need to tell me every country?
So go ahead. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so all these people, if it wasn't for them, Black Americans would be able to leave their door unlocked, yes?
Absolutely.
I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. Sir, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia.
I actually post statistics to show the crime element from when it was just Black Americans to the crime element when they started importing these foreigners into our community.
Okay.
So
what do we do? So tell me what we do. What do we do? What do we do?
Y'all talking about?
So So tell me, what do we do?
Get them the fuck away from us.
How do we do it? How do we do it?
Get them back home.
How do we do it?
Start voting on policies that's gonna stop these motherfuckers from coming over here or thinking that it's a benefit
what policy
when they come over here than being in their own home.
So let me ask. So let me ask. If we get rid of all the foreign so-called Blacks, not real Blacks, but we're gonna call them that for the sake of this argument, what would be the percentage of American Blacks do you think are in America? If it's 13% of Blacks, what percentage of that 13% do you think is really straight American Blacks?
There's only 4 million so-called melanated immigrants or so-called Black immigrants. It's only 4 million of them. We outnumber them 10-1.
So okay,
we don't need them niggas.
Okay,
they could go back to their motherfucking country.
Okay, so we don't need them. They can go back to their country. How do we get them back if we're only 10% of America. And you're saying the white people...
No, 13. It's about 50,
if we're
40
13,
to 50,000, 40 to 50,000 Black Americans. There's only 4 million of them.
Wait. You said there's about...
Exact.
Wait. Hold on. Wait.
You want to play a
Why
number
do you
game.
get to talk and I can't talk to you? You said there's only 40 to 50,000 Black Americans?
No, I said 40 to 50 million Black Americans.
40
There's only 4 million of them. We outnumbered them 10 to 1.
Well, the last statistics showed that there was only 30 million Black Americans. So where'd you get the extra 10?
Nah, there's more. There's more. You better do your research.
What did I just say? What did I say wrong? What did I?
Hold
Sir,
on.
what did I just say wrong? What did I say wrong at all? What part did I say that was wrong?
Nah, somebody said down there.
No, it's only one person talking, me and you.
Oh, what? Nah, there's 40 plus because not all.
No,
all Black
I said
Americans.
I asked you, what did I say wrong?
You said there was only 30 million.
I said no. I'll repeat it, and hopefully you'll address what I actually said. I said the last census said that there were only 30 million Blacks. Where did you get the extra 10?
Oh, from the new census. And I think that there's way more than the 40 million that they say because not all Black Americans take census. I never took a census in my life, and neither did my family.
Mm-hmm. But do you have to take a census for them to know you exist?
You got to take a census for them to document you that you exist.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. Do you have to take a census if they know you have a driver's license, and on your driver's license you put Black or African American? Do they have to take a census that you're Black if they know your parents?
Well, that's two different things.
No, man.
We're talking about when they come around and
do they have to ask you?
Come around
No.
and
Please listen to me. Do they have to ask you if they can see birth certificates? Do they have to ask you personally?
You got melanated immigrants that could come over here and put
yes,
add to our numbers.
Yes,
they're not us.
Yes. But you said, listen to what you just said. Listen to what you just said.
An ID.
I know. Listen to what you just said.
What people actually mark.
Do y'all see how he just keeps going?
It's a difference.
I said, listen to what you just said. You just stated that these immigrants are adding to our numbers. Did you not just say that?
In certain aspects of our economy.
I just asked you a simple question.
But overall, when it comes to census, they got their own census. They don't mark as being us. They mark as being immigrants.
Y'all see what just happened again? I simply asked the statement that he made. I didn't change one word. If you have to further elaborate on the same thing,
because you're changing it to fit you.
I didn't say anything about it. I just asked you, didn't y'all? Did I change anything he said to fit anything? I literally just asked you, sir. No, sir, I'm not going to let you do that. I just asked you straight up before I addressed it. I wanted to make sure we were on the same page. I said, did you just say this? You just said I was trying to make it sound like something else. How? I just repeated what you said.
You changed from the census to a license. You made
sir, that had nothing to do with what I asked you.
What people was talking about.
That had nothing to do with what I specifically asked you. I said, after you made a statement, when I was telling you about the numbers, you said they're adding to our numbers. That's why I believe it's higher. And I said,
no, I didn't say they added to our numbers. That's not what I said.
What did you say? That's why I asked. That's why people should ask questions. That's why people should ask questions. So instead of me misspeaking, I stopped and asked you, is this what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that.
So then what are you saying?
Oh, they cosplay us. They do cosplay us and act like us, but they don't add to our numbers because the government, our numbers, Black Americans' numbers is different from their numbers. Even on our Social Security number is different from theirs.
So what do they mark?
They know the American Negro.
So what do they mark?
These motherfuckers from the diaspora.
So what do they mark? What does if a Nigerian who's here has children, what do they what are their children who were born here? What should they mark?
Nigerian American.
But have you ever seen a census that had this option?
Man, they got fucking their own options. They could put others. Or
just happened.
Because they ain't
just happened. I just simply asked you a question, and for some reason you will not answer.
Others.
I said specifically. See, y'all see what happens again. Why is it pro-blacks will not answer direct questions? I said, have you ever, he said they should answer Nigerian American. And all I did was ask him, have you ever seen a census that said Nigerian American? His answer should have been what? No.
No, but there's still a marking place for them. Are you saying there's not a marking place for them to mark? They could put other or where others that
mixed
they could
people. Hold on, hold on. And when you say other, because that's all it allows you to do, is say other. That's all it allows you to do. Mixed people are other. A lot of people fit in the other category. Now you won't know who the hell other is at all, because so many people fit in it or can throw themselves in it. So all I ask, why would a kid, sir, I asked, I asked a simple question. Why would a kid who's born in America, whose family is black, but were just born in Nigeria?
But they ain't black. And that's what the OMB was about. And that's, if you're familiar with the OMB that was going on a couple months ago, where we're fighting to get them their own designated spot for that. Haitians, Africans, Caribbeans, we're fighting to get them their own spot to mark, because at the end of the day, they do have their own caucuses. You got the Latino caucus, you got the Jamaican caucus, you got the Haitian caucus. There's no reason that they could continue to be marking black, something that they're not or never identify as being.
Okay,
that's
so let me ask you a question.
To us by the United States government.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Why is it that when the Russian comes here and the Russian has a baby that is born in America, that baby is white?
That's because, but I don't care. I can't speak on white people like that. That's a good question. I don't care about that though. but hold on. That's a good question. Hey, I don't know about all that. What they identify as. That's a good one. You got me there. But keeping it real, those white people know that there's a difference between American whites and Russian whites.
No. The first generation, they get called American off top. The first generation Italians, let me tell you what Al Pacino is, white. Let me tell you what Sylvester Stallone is, white.
But that came later. In the history of America.
Hold on, Sylvester Stallone in
them Irish was being treated like motherfucking slaves.
No, I agree. Hold on. Wait.
That came later.
Hold on. Listen to what you're saying. Yes, they were. Listen. Yes, their grandparents were. They were, because they weren't what? The same way the Italians wouldn't allow you to join the mob if you were born in the United States. They said you can be in the mob, but you can't be in any higher up positions. So they didn't say they weren't Italian either. They just said they couldn't be in higher positions. The Asians who were born in the United States versus the Asians back in whatever Asian country they're from. The Nigerians will call blacks who were born here, they will call them Akata. They got a word for them. We had a word for blacks in the South. We had a word for blacks in the South when some of our family members moved up north. We call them Yankees.
But my main question to you, Sotomayor, what's your anti-black hate about? I mean, you're a Black American.
What? Hold on. What's my what?
Anti-Black American hate about? You're being a Black American. Why do you go around spewing the rhetoric about our Black women and Black men as general?
I want y'all to hear there goes that word rhetoric again, but I'll answer it. Can you tell me something I've said that is untrue?
Yes, when you defending these white people and act like they ain't criminals.
No. I said, Y'all see what just happened? He said, I'm defending these white people. What white people did I defend?
Because you just made...
You should be specific. Please be very specific. When you accuse someone of something, I'm sure when you went to court, you want them to only tell you what you did.
George Zimmerman.
What did I say?
You said he wasn't guilty of murder.
Based upon the law, he was not.
That's what you said. You said he wasn't.
I said based upon the law,
he was guilty of murder.
He was not.
Stalked that brother. That
Sir,
young kid.
based upon the law, he was not.
So you mean to tell
wait a minute. I can walk down the street right now and someone can follow me everywhere I go. Everywhere.
They told him, the cops himself told them.
There was no cop. That's a lie. Y'all, he's telling the same lie that was just told. Sir, you're telling the lie that was just told. What was the name of the cop that told him not to follow?
No, it was the dispatcher.
You said
call. They said they told him
that nobody on earth
still pursued
nobody sir, no one on earth has to listen to what the dispatcher says. There's been no case where anyone has ever been charged with a crime because they did not listen to a dispatcher. Not one. The dispatcher does not have the authority to tell you what to do. The dispatcher
he didn't have the authority to stop that man or
and he didn't. Hold on. And he didn't. And he didn't.
Because
sir,
if it wasn't an encounter,
he didn't.
That young boy would still be alive.
Sir,
that
he
young
did
boy would
not.
still be alive.
Okay, so here's what we're doing. The man said George Zimmerman did not have the ability to stop Trayvon Martin. I said to him, which is a fact, he didn't stop him. Literally, Trayvon could have walked home, just like Brittany Griner. When that white man was stalking her at the airport, what did she keep doing? Walking. She walked to the airplane. No one stopped her. If you're in a public street, someone can walk with you. They can even film you. They can yell things at you. People have done it to me, and I did not have the right to turn around and fight them because they was following me, fight them because they was calling me a coon, fight them because they were recording me. I went on where I was going because if I'm on a public street, they can do it all they want.
How
they
do
can
you know
follow
he
you
turned
wherever
around
you go
and fought him, and that nigga ain't try to grab him?
Listen to what you just said. That is a complete and utter lie. He literally walked around behind that man. Even the girl on the phone said that.
On top of that,
the
right?
fake girl on the phone, who wasn't the real girl, said that happened.
But
that he did not go home. He went behind him.
On top of that, right? We all know that this Caucasian is a
He's
murderer.
not a Caucasian.
Hold on. I'm talking about white people in general. We all know that white people is, and he's considered white because on the he's classified as white. So we're gonna call him white. So we all know that white people.
So we supposed to separate black folks from Jamaican and Haitian and African, but we get to call George Zimmerman white. You gotta love
another topic.
Wow, y'all gotta love this. We gotta separate black.
That's another topic.
This is amazing. Yo,
another
this
topic.
is amazing
If
what's
we're
being
gonna build,
said.
let's stick with this one and we
Oh
go
my
over there
God.
about that one. Let's stick to this one. Now we all know that white people is rapists, murderers, and everything
Wow.
foul on this motherfucking planet, and they have a long history.
Okay.
Of raping, murdering, and robbing everywhere that they fucking went.
That's right.
So to give them a benefit of a doubt and say that these white people follow the law is fucked up.
So I should never say. So wait a minute. Wait.
Being a black man.
Hold on. Stop.
Better,
I'm not. Just please don't just keep going.
On top of that,
Please don't. You're not gonna stop. Every time I'm talking and you I'm talking and you try to say something, I stop. I can hear.
Okay, go ahead. But
I'm just asking you, as you make these run-on sentences, if we agree that white people are all these things as you say they are, and I agree with you, then how the fuck is 13% of the population gonna get that larger percentage of the population who runs and makes all the laws and who are rapists and killers and pillagers? Why would they then step in to help us enact a law to get rid of the Haitians, Jamaicans, and every other black that they actually are using to destroy us? How would we get them? Because we would need them if they're the majority. How would we get them to listen to our plight if they're everything you just said they were?
Well, we use this is one way that we could do it. By one, separating ourselves from these people and building up our own communities and not allowing these people into those communities, and then
just asked you, how do you keep them out if they can play cosplay? How do you keep them out?
You can't cosplay if you can't do your lineage. You got to do your lineage to be around us.
Okay, so we get to, so wait. So what you're saying is we get to make black spaces and keep black people out who don't have a lineage that we got to come up with it. Because every time I talk to y'all pro blacks about this, none of y'all tell me what the exact date or the lineage is. Y'all say we'll come up with that later. Okay, 1870. Cool. So if they can't show it, we won't allow Jamaicans who make, we won't allow Nigerians who are per capita in the United States, their families make more money than white families. Then we would kick them out. Cool. We won't let them in.
Around us anyway.
No. Okay, listen. We'll kick them out.
Stay with the white people.
Okay, I'm saying we'll kick them out and keep them out. If we're doing that, why don't we allow white people to do that to us? Why we get mad if they don't want us in their movies? Why we get mad if they don't want us in our neighborhood? Why wouldn't we say, and we don't want to be in your neighborhood?
I want to bring back a segregation.
Okay, so why are we arguing? So why are we arguing? So why are we arguing that so why are we arguing again? What happens to black when they're in white neighborhoods? Because let me tell you what white people do to white people who something happened to them when they go to black neighborhoods. When a white girl hangs out with nothing but black dudes, they call her a mud shark. And when she ends up getting raped or whatever happens to her, they literally will tell her, you shouldn't have been hanging around them. And this is a cocktail caution for other white girls to look at her, and that's why you don't do it. That's all they do.
Oh, that's loyalty. But I said that's loyalty right there. But Tom.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So why is it that when black folks are hanging out with white people and white people do something to them, why don't we say, shouldn't have been hanging out with them whites?
No, I say that. I say shit like that. That's what you get. I say that. You can't say all people don't say that.
No, I'm saying why don't we as a group?
Some people will be
I'm saying why don't we there was a simple question. We as a group should not be out getting Benjamin Crump to argue about a black person being mistreated by a white person when they went to a white person's space to get mistreated. They literally went to a white person's space and got mistreated. You went to an all-white Denny's and didn't get service. We should say that's what you get for not shopping with us. We should literally say that to them.
But why you switching the conversation though?
I didn't switch it because you're saying we need to kick out Jamaicans. We need to kick out Haitians. And I'm saying only way we could do this was even when you say your lineage thing, we have a thing called an American law. You can't kick them out of shit. You don't have the power to make it to where they can't live in your neighborhood.
If we're buying the land, we could say who live on our land.
You actually can't. By that logic, Donald Trump would be able to keep niggas out of his hotel.
No, I said that's different because
how is it different?
That's a public establishment, a hotel.
And
now
if you buy land, it isn't. He bought those apartments. Wait a minute. Donald Trump had bought those apartments. Sir, no. Donald Trump bought that land, built apartments there. He didn't want blacks there.
Example of what I'm talking about. I'm buying 4 acres. I'm buying 4 acres in Georgia, me and my wife, right? Only ones that's going to be able to build on that land and live on that land is me and my family. They all Black Americans, for starters. And then as long as everybody duplicate that same thing in those areas where it's majority Black Americans, they can't tell you who you gotta have.
And all I'm saying to you
can't have on your land when you move it like that.
And all I'm saying to you is whites should be allowed to do the same thing. Because while you're buying 4 acres, I know white people with 100 acres. And they should be allowed to, when they sell that land or have build things on that land, to say they don't want blacks there. And we should not be offended by it.
We're separating from them.
Okay, as long as that's the case, I'm okay with it. I keep asking.
We're separating from them and everybody else on this motherfucker.
Then I agree with
it.
Fuck
them Africans, fuck them Caribbeans, fuck Europe, fuck everybody on this motherfucking planet other than Black Americans.
So let me ask you this then. If blacks believe that, and we currently occupy the area with them same whites that we believe are evil, why don't we fight them?
Because
why try to live?
Fight them out. What you mean? What you mean by fighting them? We've been fighting, but
no. I mean, no. I mean, do like the colonists did to Britain. I mean, do like the North did to the South. I mean, do like the United States did with Vietnam. I mean, do like North Korea did with South Korea. I mean, do like right now what Russia is having to do with Ukraine. I mean, actually fight. If we hate them that much, why are we not going to war?
Because that would be suicide for us. We don't even make the bullets to go inside the gun, much less making the gun.
Okay, so cool. So wait.
That's not how this is going to be taken.
Okay, wait, please.
This is going to be taken without.
Y'all just get to talking and don't hit. I said, what do we do? You said, because it would be suicide. That stopped. Now, my next thing is to say, since we believe it's suicide, it was also considered suicide when the colonists went up against Britain. It was also considered suicide when Vietnam went up against the United States. It was also it's considered suicide now that Ukraine is going up against Russia. But these people did it. Here's my point.
Do you know the difference? They was producing.
Hey, let's talk on that. It was committed suicide for the North to go against the South, right? But the thing is this, the Black Americans helped the North beat the South.
The Black Americans also helped the South.
Yeah, in a different type of way. You know,
why do y'all say, yeah, y'all make a point?
You got to tell the whole story.
Hold on, wait a minute. Why would you say I have to tell the whole story when you didn't tell it? Literally, all you said. Hold on, wait. Y'all see what just happened? He said, I have to tell the whole story. He led You led with, you said, you want to talk about the Civil War, right? Well, Black Americans helped the North win the Civil War. And then you stopped. And all I said was, and Black Americans helped the South fight. And your response was, yeah, you got to tell the whole story. So it was okay when you said what you said, and I countered with the exact same thing.
I told the whole story, though.
No, you didn't.
What did I leave out? Black Americans helped them win the war.
What did I leave out?
He was trying to.
You left out that the blacks that helped the South was still enslaved, and not only was they still enslaved, it was a trick bag, you know.
It was a trick bag with the North. The North only sir. The North, after you won, after you helped them win, what did they give you?
The devil's punch bowl.
It was a trick bag. I can't believe you were pro-black want to deny that each side gave you a trick bag because neither side liked you.
But this is the thing though. On the north side, a lot of Black Americans walked off and was doing their own thing.
Wow.
They built.
Jesus.
You know, they built. While the South
and in the South, a lot of Black Americans owned slaves.
You heard me? On the South.
You said in the North, a lot of Black Americans were free and was able to do whatever.
Hold on, now you're not telling the whole truth.
Yeah, I can catch you. I got
Black Americans owned slaves in the South. However, you're not putting the part out that, for the most part, those was their people that they brought out of slavery, and that was considered.
He know that. He know that.
Wait a minute. For the most part, you're not admitting that Northern Blacks were still held back by Northern whites.
I mean, certain Northern Blacks was not held back.
Oh my God. I can't do this.
Are you seeing them
now we want to say that the Northern whites was just letting out for Blacks just get to have their way. So what changed?
Are you saying everybody was enslaved and scared to fight?
Oh my God. No, I didn't say anything close to that.
Okay. So I'm trying to tell you.
And are you saying all white people own slaves in the South?
Just about, yeah. Just about.
Oh, I'm done. Good night. Good night. No. I'll come back later. I gotta go be with. Hey, it's Father's Day. I seriously have to go be with I gotta go be with my daughter. This man just said just about every white person in the South owns slaves.
But you do be pointing it up on.
See, there you go. He couldn't help himself. Ain't disrespected this man at all. He jumped in and said, you do be cooning it up. You see? He unmuted his mic and then both them niggas is laughing as they speak like children. And I be cooning it up and I'm about to go be with my family and my child while y'all cooning it up, sitting online, hoping to argue and call grown men coons. I'll be cooning it up with all these Black people at my house. Every one of them Black. I'm sorry, my huge mansion. I'll be cooning it up there with these Blacks. So while y'all laughing because you called a man coon, and y'all should just see, they keep pressing, they have to press a button to show that they're laughing, that they called a man that showed them nothing but respect. A coon. A coon. Now they want to get rid of you foreigners, but the American Black who's sitting here talking to them and is saying, I agree about segregating ourselves from them. I agree without taking things from them. I'm still a coon though. And just waited after I let them do all this talking. They could not help but disrespect me. And let me say this to both you bitch motherfuckers. There is no coon that's fucking with y'all puss ass. And let me make sure you get the fuck out, Jake. Press it one more time, Jake. Press it one more motherfucking time. Press the smiley face one more time, Jake. Press it one more time, bitch nigga. Oh, you can't. Anybody else want to press the fucking smiley face because you're an adult? So I'm smiling that I called you a name. Think about how dumb that is. Tommy got me muted lying, says this dude. Sir, let me go on and block you too, because I didn't lie on you. I've respected both of you stupid sons of bitches. Why don't you leave me alone? Let me coon. Me cooning ain't hurting y'all niggas at all. You don't go around telling drug dealers that they cooning with your bitch ass. I ain't never heard one of you punk motherfuckers call none of these Black people that are actually hurting Black people coons to their fucking face. You know who y'all spend y'all time calling coons to? Niggas who aren't bothering you. So let me get it straight. You keep running up in niggas' faces who ain't doing shit to you. Ain't bothering you. No matter how much I coon, it ain't stopped now one of you niggas from getting a job. No matter how much I coon, it ain't stopped now one of you niggas from buying land. No matter how much I coon, it ain't stopped now one of you niggas from being with your fucking family. It ain't stopped you. You just don't like what I'm saying. But it ain't got now one of you niggas killed. It ain't got now one of you niggas robbed. I ain't never heard now one of y'all niggas say y'all got robbed by a coon. You can't name one. You can't name one of these niggas who said that girl got raped by a coon. You can't name one. So they go around every day fucking with coons Because coons say stuff in the white man's favor. That's it. So they're coon hunters. They wake up every day to hunt coons, and now their new target is foreign blacks or blacks with foreign blood. Coons and foreigners are the black people's target now. Let that sink in. The black people who say the system and the white man is causing them the most harm spend a whole lot of time hunting coons, now foreigners, and suspected white supremacists. And guess where they do it at? On the white man's internet. You can't make this shit up. The white man allows them to hunt coons, foreigners, and suspected white supremacists all day online. None of these bitch niggas have created one place where they can do all this black talk on their own black Twitter. Nah. And Smooth G, I respected y'all and y'all disrespected me. That's why I'm going to block you. You can go somewhere else and talk. And when that man asked me, and hopefully that brother's still here listening, when you asked me why don't I go into black neighborhoods and talk to them, they just proved why no one with any common sense would ever talk to these childish ass, single mother raised sons of bitches. Your single mama raised you to be a bitch nigga who goes around arguing with complete strangers and calling them words that white men called black people in the motherfucking 20s. These grown ass niggas going around calling people coons. As I said before, you know how you might as well say it? Yeah, you're a coon, yeah. Who's that damn childish that you can't stop yourself from being a dummy? This is a sickness. And y'all should all look at this as a sickness that these grown black adults will ask you to come talk to you, because I'm not bothering them. Have y'all noticed us coons don't go to pro-black spaces? When pro-blacks have spaces, we don't go over there and call them names. We don't go over there and fuck with them at all. Just like Jamaicans would happily separate themselves from you. Just like Haitians would happily separate themselves from you. Y'all act like people are trying to be under you when they're not. You force people under you. This motherfucker is the same. These pussy niggas are the same ones who try to force a black person or a person who has a black parent and a white parent to declare that they're black. So you want the biracial person to declare black. But the black person born in the United States who has parents who were born in Nigeria is now not black. They're not black. But Barack Obama's black, even though Barack Obama's dad is Nigerian. And mama's white. Boy, you can't make this shit up. If y'all believe anything, that only people that should believe what the pro-blacks are saying are black women. And that's because they just want to be told nice shit by a motherfucker who want to lie to them all day. And have you noticed that the pro-blacks that say they call black women queens and they love black women all day because they call me a coon, but that nigga's a king because he love you, because he tell you beautiful and you a king, you a queen. Have you noticed that none of them niggas marry you? Dr. Umar Johnson talk about how great black women are, yet he ain't married to one. Tariq Nasheed talk about how great black women are, but he ain't married to one. All the rest of the black men who talk about how great y'all are. You know, like young Pharaoh. He online talking about y'all bitches and hoes. He online not wanting to pay child support to a baby mama. He online beating one and throwing them out the car. Every one of these black men who say they love y'all, all they do is fuck y'all. They ain't married to y'all. Why is that? If he believes you're a queen, why would he not marry you? He got babies. Almost every one of these niggas who pro-black got kids. Why ain't they married to one of the queens who reproduce with them? They spend all day online telling y'all queens and be in y'all inbox trying to fuck. Tell me I'm lying. Go on, black women, in the comment section. You can tell me if I'm lying or not. Tell the coon that these black men who call y'all queens are marrying y'all. Go on, tell me. How many of you black women out there right now married to one of these black pro-blacks? I can name you several pro-blacks. None of them are married to black women. I can name you several of them. There's a comedian, Godfrey, out there just steadily talk about how much he loved black women. He ain't married to one. You gotta love it. If black women are so great and these men think they're so great, why are they not marrying them? But I'm a coon. You be talking bad about black women. These niggas be treating y'all bad. They be fucking all y'all. All they do is fuck y'all. They treat y'all good for pussy. That's it. That's all you known for. They ain't laying up and marrying you. And I don't understand that. But I'm the coon. And you just keep running around calling people coons at the age of 50 and 60. I'm a coon, but a pro-black named Tariq Nasheed is running around telling everybody my name is Crispy because I'm dark-skinned. And y'all niggas sit there and laugh at it. Niggas the same color as me. And darker. But a pro-black can say it because, well, we don't like what you say, so you can be made fun of because of your skin color. Huh? I don't see any Klan members getting mad at white people who don't live up to what they think they should and calling them pasty, calling them whitey. Do y'all know any? Do y'all know any Klan members, pro-whites, going around and going to the white people and calling them pasty as a diss? Oh, you don't know any? Cool. Thank you to everybody who hit the Cash App. I'll come back in a minute. My daughter probably won't kick my ass. I've been down here way too long. I sat here and tried to have a conversation with black people as men and show the rest of the world that black people can talk as men even if they disagree. And what happened to me? I brought up some niggas who decided to call me names like they're children, who I did nothing but respect them and answered every question they asked. So they couldn't beat me with logic. They couldn't beat me with facts. So he unmuted himself and said, "You do be cooning though." That was his last words. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tommy Sotomayor. I'm out.